Shadow monarchs of the highest order, slime lords and infinity-wielding warriors have descended upon Stardew Valley. To stop these powerful beasts, we will need to build a prosperous farm, befriend strange creatures, unlock our true potential, harnessing incredible arcane powers, and arm ourselves to the teeth with the most powerful weapons Stardew Valley has ever seen. I played 1 year of Stardew Valley, but as an adventurer. Hello everybody, this is GamerGar. Welcome to another 1 year Stardew Valley challenge. Let's jump straight into the goals. The first goal is to defeat every boss in the game. The second goal is to capture all of the fish. The third goal is to complete the community center and unlock the theater. The fourth goal is to collect every mineral and artifact. The fifth goal is to obtain the max level of mastery. The sixth goal is to become the monster slayer hero by completing every monster eradication goal. The seventh goal is to get married and have kids. And the final goal is to obtain the maximum level of magic. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Stardew Valley content and 100% videos. Also, if you could leave a like on this video, it really helps me out and I greatly appreciate it. Let's jump straight into this adventuring challenge and let's have some fun. Welcome to the first day of the 1 year Adventurers Challenge. As you can see, the farm map looks a little bit different. This is a mod called Lynn's Magic Farm, and you can find all of the mods listed in the video's description. The first thing we're going to do is to cut down a couple of trees. We need to assemble some wood so we can make a chest to store items in. We're also going to hoe up the ground, plant our parsnip seeds and water those straight up. We're then going to look around for forageables. The more forageables we get, the more foraging XP we're going to muster. That means more skill ups for us. There's forageables all over the map. We even get an artifact on the beach here, a dried starfish. We can hand that straight into Gunther for a nice 250 gold reward. We're now up on 750 gold, we can put that to some great use. Because we are going the community centre route, we're going to purchase a bean starter and an early cauliflower. We're going to hoe up some more patches here, and we're going to place the crops we just purchased from Pierre. We're then going to water those crops up, and we're going to spend the rest of the day cutting down more trees. So we get level 1 foraging today, and the next day we're going to start by watering up our crops. And we're going to make some wild seeds today from all of the forageables that we got. We're going to plant those out on the ground. This will give us a lot more foraging XP when we pull up all of these forageables in just a couple of days. Now this is an adventurer's challenge, so the focus will primarily be on combat and mining, but if we want to unlock all of the mastery tiers and get the end game combat and mining items, we will need to max out all of our skills. So we're going to talk to Linus here, and we are going to try to meet all of the NPCs of Stardew Valley just to complete that introductions quest. The help wanted poster has a catfish on it for 200 gold. We will attempt to grab that tomorrow during the rainy day. Also, to the left hand side of our farm, every single day we will get nodes that will spawn, so we can mine these nodes very early to our advantage. We just got a skill up there in mining, which is really nice. The more proficient we get in mining, the less energy we are going to use when we swing that pickaxe around. And I can tell you right now, folks, we're going to be doing a lot of pickaxe swinging in this challenge. For the rest of the day, we're just doing some fishing. Sebastian was the last NPC I had to talk to complete the introductions quest. The next quest was how to win a friend to give someone a gift. I just gave him some clay that I got from a treasure chest. He wasn't too impressed with it though, but who cares? We get some gold for completing that quest, and all this small little gold very early on is going to come in handy. Level 1 mining, as you can see, we learned a recipe for making a magic rock candy. That's thanks to a mod, but it's going to be a very long while before we can accumulate the mats to start banging those out. So day number 3 is a rainy day. Now we're going to start by doing some fishing in the beach area. We're also going to go to Willie here as well. We're going to sell him some fishies. What we really want here now today is a copper pickaxe upgrade. So I'm trying to amass as much gold as possible. It would be really nice to enter the mines on day 5 with a copper pickaxe. So we're going to do lots of fishing outside of Clint's. Now, we can get quite lucky and we might be able to get some coal and copper ores from geodes, but geodes will all depend on if we get fish and treasure chests and if we get copper, coal or geodes inside. So a lot of it is luck based. If we don't get any of that, we're going to have to buy copper ores and coal off Clint. So we need to go back to Willie. We need to sell the fish to him, get money, go back to Clint, buy more ores, smelt some bars. What we need is 2,000 gold in total and 5 copper bars. Clint closes at 4 o'clock. That's why I put the furnace right beside his house. So once we put up a few more fish, I just need to sell a few and I'll get up to 2,000 gold again. Thankfully I had some smallmouth bass here that did the job. So as we can see, it was a lot of going to Willie, going back to Clint, vice versa, but it's going to pay off greatly because this copper pickaxe will more or less see us through the entirety of the mines without the need to upgrade it even once. So it just makes for super fast progression early on. Now normally we could have used that gold to buy more crops and we could have scaled up that way to get tons of cash, but this is an adventurer's challenge, so it's not going to really be about how much money we can make. It's more so going to be about the best gear we can acquire before the challenge expires, and there's a lot of gear we can get in this game. So we pulled up the catfish. Let's go and talk to Willie and get our reward. We don't actually have to give him the catfish, we just have to tell him that we pulled one up. We get to keep the catfish, which is great. We can actually sell that and get some more money. What would really be nice by day 5 would be a backpack upgrade, plus the copper pickaxe, plus a really nice weapon. I also picked up the eel as well because we need that for the community centre bundle. I might keep the catfish also because we also need that for the bundle, but we'll see as we play along. For the rest of the day we're just pulling up fish. It would be nice to catch all of the fish the game has to offer. We got a lot of fishing levels today, which was great. Level 4 fishing. The next day we start by watering up the crops. Now you're not going to see huge amounts of crops in this video. All we want to do really is just get level 10 farming and then just leave it alone after that. I won't even be selling most of the crops that I do pull up. I will primarily be eating those crops for health and energy. So I got really lucky today. 5 pieces of coal in a treasure chest. I'll take that any day. We're selling more fish to Willie. And now we're going to take a nice stroll up to the lake area and we're going to pull up a lot more fish up here. It would be nice to maximise fishing earlier rather than later, just so we can get it out of the way. We get our first book of power, Jewels of the Sea. Fishing treasure chests now have a chance to yield raw. That's going to come in handy down the road as well. Especially for the caviar that we might need for unlocking the theatre. It'll just prevent us from getting the fish pond. We got a few more levels in fishing. Level 6 fishing, pretty good. It's now day number 5, the mines have been opened. Let's start by picking up all these parsnips, they'll be put to good use. Let's check the travelling cart, super lucky today. The snow yam and the crocus, both items needed for the community centre. What's more, we can actually complete the winter foraging bundle very early now because of those items. I also grabbed the nautilus shell as well, so we got super lucky today with the travelling cart. The sooner we can complete the community centre, the sooner we can get to Ginger Island. 9 cauliflower seeds from Gunther, thank you very much, and the copper pickaxe from Clint. A help wanted quest. Robin wants us to bring her 25 pieces of wood. We'll take it. The reason why we're prioritising all those help wanted quests is because we want to get prized tickets. You get some really nice rewards from those. The first backpack upgrade, 2,000 gold, well spent. We are now going into the mines with the copper pickaxe and a backpack upgrade. Unfortunately, we didn't get any superior weapons, so we will have to use the rusty sword for now to wipe out these enemies, and it does take quite a few swings. Sometimes you can get lucky and you can get a Neptune's glaive or a broken trident before you get into the mines, and unfortunately we weren't that lucky in this playthrough, but you can't get lucky every time. We made it down to floor 10, we picked up the leather boots. Now, I've used a lot of mods, and you're going to see a lot of these mods in effect in just a couple of floors. They are now bosses in this video, and I kid you not, some of these bosses are extremely hard, and it will mean that we will have to grind later on to get a lot of items to beat those bosses. Some of them are just exceptionally hard. Bring on the Dark Souls bosses. So we're making some quick progress in the mines. I'm just speeding up some of these floors just to show you a lot of the combat. So we're going to make some bug sticks today. They're going to come in very handy for health and energy. I'm also going to sell a lot of these minerals that I'm getting. I'm also going to donate a lot of them to Gunther, because it would be nice to get into the sewers sooner rather than later. It would be nice to collect every single artifact and mineral in the first year of this challenge. We're now going to go to the community centre. We have completed the spring foraging bundle. Our reward, 30 spring seeds. We'll put those into the ground. We're going to donate all of these items out to Gunther, and we have another help wanted quest. Slay 8 green slimes. We do get a prize ticket, so we will absolutely do that. If we get 2 prize tickets, that will unlock mystery boxes. We can get some nice things from the mystery boxes. Now we just got an infested floor here. I got attacked by all these flies. This is actually a blessing in disguise. We'll get some good combat XP for wiping out those flies. There is a small chance, but a chance, those flies may drop ancient seeds. Now we don't get that lucky, but there's always a chance. Level 20, we get the steel, a small sword. It's a little bit better than that of the rusty sword, so we'll swap that out straight away. So we just wiped out all the green slimes there. That is another help wanted quest completed. We just have to talk to the NPC to hand it in. We're now on floor 26. Now it is 120, so we're probably not going to make it down to floor 30. The next day, we get another level up in mining, which is great. Because we have the copper pick, we can one-shot those grey stones. I'm going to use up all of my copper ores and I'm going to make furnaces. The reason why I'm making so much is because most of our money is going to come from selling bars and selling stuff that we find in the mines. So I spoke to Mayor Lewis, I told him I killed all of the green slimes, we get 480 gold and we also get a prize ticket. We're also going to give Mayor Lewis a daffodil because it's his birthday today. Now we will try to complete as many birthdays as possible because sometimes you can get really nice things in the mail when you have a certain amount of friendship accumulated with the NPCs. So we reach floor 29 and this is the first boss. It is called the Royal Slime. Now the bosses have a lot of HP. We only have a steel small sword. Every time we hit the boss it gets smaller, but it will get faster. It also hits us for a lot of damage. It also fires out projectiles that we have to watch out for. The biggest challenge here is that when we take a hit, our character slows down, so dodging these enemies becomes a lot harder. Now we do have food on us, we can heal for health, and we do need to pop some of that food very soon. We do complete a monster eradication goal there, which is great, and that monster eradication goal was for killing insects. That means we can get our hands on the insect head. It is an absolutely magnificent weapon to get very early in the game. It has been buffed since 1.6. Now the slime is really small, but it's now gone really fast, so we need to be patient. We can't just whack our way through all these enemies, we will end up getting killed. So we gotta run around, we gotta aim our strikes and strike fast, strike hard. Once this slime boss is dead, we will get some nice rewards. We can then move on to floor 30. Now we cannot dodge these bosses. We must fight them in order to progress through the mines. So it's not going to be easy getting to floor 120, I can tell you right now. It's going to be very, very difficult. But it's going to be fun. And it's going to make getting that lovely star drop, it's going to make getting that skull key worth it. So we're now on the floor 30s. We're fighting these golems. They have so much HP. They only give 5 XP when you kill them, so it's not the most exciting enemy to find early on in the game. Now, you're going to see a trend here, kind of every 10 floors, every 20 floors, you're going to see a boss. This is the infected golem, and this boss defends the floor to get down into the midsection of the mine. So if we want to start farming iron ores, we will need to beat this boss. Now the weapon we have simply isn't strong enough for this boss. He spawns way too many ads. We're being overwhelmed by all the ads, we're taking too much damage. The boss has a lot of HP. Even if we stack all the ads up like this between the golems and the bats, they're getting in hits and I just end up getting killed. And I got killed because I simply ran out of HP and I didn't have any food on me to heal myself. I lost coal, cherry bombs and rice shoots, and you're going to see this happening a lot. I do die a lot during this challenge, but it makes for a more interesting playthrough. Aren't you just tired of watching people play 1 year of this game and they just stroll through everything like it's easy? This challenge is not easy. Now I do grab the insect head. That weapon is a game changer. What you see here are legendary weapons if we just scroll down a bit more. Now these legendary weapons are part of a mod, but they're very expensive. It's 100,000 gold to buy one. They all have similar stats. The reason why I put this mod in was that if I got rightly stuck on a boss, I mean rightly stuck, I could grind out the game a little bit and purchase one of those weapons. So they're basically there for if we get extremely stuck. Hopefully we won't have to rely on any of those to progress the game. Now with the insect head, this infected golem is a lot easier. We're able to wipe out the ads when they spawn, and then we can get back on the golem straight away and attack it for some pretty good damage. These regular golems don't stand a chance. The insect head's base damage is much better than that of the regular sword we were using just 1 or 2 days ago. So once this insect golem has been defeated, it's going to drop some pretty nice stuff. And the great thing about these bosses is that you can farm them every single day, but you can only farm them once per day. And they drop a couple of bars on defeat. Now they don't drop anything crazy. They don't drop anything that's going to kind of, you know, make spring totally overpowered. We just got some copper bars there. But it's still a nice reward to fight something that's difficult early on. Now we can come back later on with way better weapons and we can kill that thing in a few hits. But for now, it's challenging. We make to floor 40, we pick up the slingshot, and on we go. Even if I see copper ores in the midsections, I'm going to grab them. We always need copper for bits and bobs down the road. Iron ores now, iron bars, we can sell those for money. We can also use iron ores and coal to make bombs once we increase our mining skills. And bombs, they do some decent damage against enemies, so we're not going to rule out abusing bombs to fight various enemies in this game if we have to. So we're picking up glow rings. I mean, look, it's not bad, it lights the way. Much better rings are going to be gotten later on though. We do some fishing at the end of the day and we get some skill ups as well, level 4 mining. So we're going to start the day by picking up all these forageables. It is a rainy day, we could do some fishing, but I'm more concerned about how I'm going to deal with the future bosses. We need to think about our combat level, we need to think about our mining level, we need to think about our character's gear. Now, I am going to try to complete a couple of these fishing bundles as early as possible. The walleye is going to be the big gate stopper there. That fish only pops up in fall, so unless we get that from the travelling cart, we're kind of gate locked from wiping out all those bundles. But you never know what the travelling cart might have down the road. Another skill up in fishing. Now, if we can get an early combat mastery, we can get our hands on trinkets. Early trinkets would be very interesting to use. There's a lot of trinkets out there. Some do damage, some give you magnificent buffs, some make you rich. So let's see what we can achieve. We get a skill up there in combat, which is nice. Combat skill ups are very important. Normally if I see enemies, I will destroy them. We need to get skill ups in combat, we need more HP. An early monster compendium is great. Monsters now have a small chance to drop double loot. It makes farming those dust sprites way more lucrative because they drop coal all the time. They also drop coffee beans. It basically makes every enemy in the game more lucrative to farm. Every enemy in this game can drop something very valuable that you can use. The bats drop bombs. The slimes can drop all manner of stuff, including minerals like jades and amethysts and things like that. Level 7 fishing there, plus 1 fishing rod proficiency. We don't care too much about getting level ups in the fishing. All we want is just max it out, move on to the next skill and get into the mastery cave. Level 3 combat plus 5 HP. Level 4 combat was really nice as well. We are now on day number 10 and we start off by picking up these carrots. Carrots early on are absolutely amazing. They give lots of energy and they give a decent bit of health as well, and they're just regular carrots. Gold star carrots are way better, they're way more potent. So we're now going to talk to Harvey. We handed in yet another quest. Harvey wanted Nakamurain and we got that from going to the mines. That's another price ticket in the bag. We're getting an axe upgrade, so that's going to be put up to a copper axe. That means we can start getting some hardwood. We also completed the winter foraging bundle on the 10th day of spring. What an achievement for me. And that's just because we had lucky with the travelling cart. So it's just always worth checking out what that travelling cart is going to have, because she can really speed up progress depending on the items you're going to have on the day. It's now time to fight the Dusk Amalgamation. Now this boss is a bit of a tear up compared to the previous couple of bosses we fought. The boss has a very sinister technique. It's basically a huge AoE attack, and it doesn't just hit us once, it hits us multiple times. So we need to run away from this and avoid as many of the bursts of damage that it can do as possible. Now I do have a good few pieces of fish on me, so I need to take these. I need to heal myself. As we can see, you can't dodge the whole attack. The area of effect is just too great. So you really need to be coming into these bosses with lots and lots of food. Now I just managed to kill this boss before I died. I was really lucky. And I picked up a really cool helmet from this boss called the Dust Helmet. And some bosses have a chance, it's a small chance, of dropping like pieces of gear like this that you can equip. Now the gear the bosses drop don't give you any sort of stats. There's just mostly helmets. It's just mostly for visuals. But look how cool that helmet is. It's probably one of the coolest helmets I've ever seen. And I've had lots of headpieces in this game. So we can now proceed on to the next floor. Now that boss was tough, we almost died, but the insect head had the DPS required to just nuke down the boss before we got killed. Now of course if we had a weaker weapon, we just would have had to out-heal all the boss's attacks. But I mean, every time the boss put the sword in the ground, we just took crazy damage altogether. We also picked up a new vest here. It's called the GI vest, or the guy, or whatever you want to call it. So it's just to kind of change things up. We now look like a proper warrior. I got the master slingshot, and this is the mystery key cutscene. We can now get our hands on mystery boxes because we obtained 2 prize tickets from doing help wanted quests. It's nice to get that early. Level 5 mining. We're going to go with geologist because I need to get my hands on more minerals so I can sell those to make more money. We can always swap it up later on when we get down into the sewers. Picked up the goby today. We need that for the fishing collection. And we're also handing in Robin's last axe just to get some extra money there as well. That's a nice 250 gold. We're now getting Clint to break open lots of geodes here because we want to make a good stab at the minerals and artifacts for Gunther. I also picked up the bone sword. It's more or less on par with the insect head, except it strikes way faster. So we can do more DPS with this weapon. It's time for the next boss. Now this boss is a bit of a pain. It's got 2 phases. It's called the living crystal. First we have to fight the crystal, then we have to fight the ghost within. The ghost inside is an absolute beast. The first attack, the living crystal will lay all these mines on the ground. They will explode. We have to try our best to dodge them. The boss will also fire out all those crystals. Those crystals can also freeze you in place, so we gotta watch out. The boss will also damage us if we touch off the boss. And then the boss will fire out this huge chain of crystals and it'll also summon adds. So there's a lot of attacks there to remember. Now the attacks are very well telegraphed and most of these attacks can be dodged. We just have to kind of get distance from the boss when it's charging up for an attack. Even those crystals can be dodged. If we create enough distance we can see it coming. What's really letting us down here is our speed. We're just far too slow to dodge that big chain burst attack. It's doing a lot of damage to us. Now we do have some carrots on hand, but if we die to this boss we might have to spend 1 or 2 days pulling up a load of fish so we can come back here and kind of out heal the boss. Now the boss is almost defeated, but this was my first time fighting the boss. I didn't know there was a second phase. So we're just going to have to see and wait how we get on here, you know. Once this boss sustains a few more attacks, the ghost will come out of it and then, I mean, the ghost is just another thing entirely. Now we're not doing too bad at the moment. Sometimes I just decide to take the beating and just try to get as many attacks as I can on this boss. If I can get a few critical hits here and there, it'll be really nice. Now this is the ghost. And as we can see, the ghost just obliterated me there. The ghost does a charge attack, and if that hits you, I mean, it's going to do crazy damage. There's 2 ways we can avoid that. By getting enough distance from the ghost and just by moving, the ghost might miss us. Or we can just parry with the sword and the ghost will bounce off us. So we'll have to come back to that fight later on. On the upside, we got some early red cabbage seeds. We can plant that now later on. We needed that for the community center bundle, for the dye bundle. We did some fishing there too, just to get some fish so we can eat that fish for health for the next boss fight. We're also smelting up some bars there as well. We're going to go straight back into the fight now. Now, what you notice as we're fighting these bosses, the time gets slowed down dramatically, which is great. Because some of these boss fights can go on for literally the whole day. Sometimes there isn't enough time in the day to fight these bosses. That's how long these fights drag on for. They're huge boss fights. So this is just another attempt now fighting the ghost. And after a while I can kind of count in my head how many seconds it's going to be for the ghost to launch itself at me before it does that big attack. Now the fight goes on for a while because I can only kind of hit the ghost a few times before it disappears. Then it comes back in again for the charge attack. It was just rinse and repeat and we did it finally. So it was nice getting that fight out of the way. Now if you think that fight was hard, you have seen that yet. There's a lot more bosses to go and they get way harder. They really upskill now after this. So we can now finally start farming gold. And we're going to need to farm lots of gold to make lots of money, to make lots of progress. The weapon we have right now, the bone sword, it's just not going to cut it for the next fight. I'm sorry to say. We need some serious upgrade hits. We need some decent rings. We need some decent boots. We need decent weapons. We need a high combat skill. Next couple of the bosses are just crazy hard. Let's go to Marlon here to see what we got. We're going to sell him things we just simply do not need. We got some extra bone swords, we'll sell those. They sell for decent money. Level 5 combat, we'll go for fighter, of course, all attacks and 10% more damage. Level 6 mining, we can now make regular bombs. That's nice, those regular bombs will come in handy as well. We're now getting our first batch of gold bars. Now we're going to be selling most of our gold bars for money. We need money to get a lot of upgrades, especially if we're going to buy some things off Marlon as well to give us an edge in combat. It's now time for the Easter event, because we're now on the 13th. And of course, we obliterate this event because we've done it so many times, so it just gives us a straw hat. But the reason why we do it this year is so we get a prize ticket the next year. We also completed the Spring Crops bundle, so we get 20 speed grows for that, which is nice. We also have all of the materials now to unlock the mine carts, so the Junimos are super happy with our progress. The mine carts have been unlocked, and that just means handy fast travel around Stardew Valley for us. Level 2 farming today, grand. We get our copper axe, we're going to break open the tree stumps there. We're going to get a nice sneaky prize ticket inside here. This can only be obtained if you have at least a copper axe to break open that tree stump. It's Haley's birthday, we're going to give her the daffodil, it's a good light gift for her, some bonus friendship points. We're also granting Emily's request, she wanted a quartz, so we're going to hand it over to complete another help wanted quest right there for Emily. We're now back in the mines, we're making some progress, we're on floor 89. That means hopefully when we get to floor 90 there won't be any boss surprises, and there isn't. We pick up the obsidian edge. It's a decent upgrade from the bone sword. It is slower, but it does hit harder, so we'll be using the obsidian edge going forward for the moment. Getting diamond nodes like this is always a great surprise. It's also a nice bit of XP, and as you can see 2 diamonds popped out instead of 1 because of our mining perk. Demetrius pays us a visit the next day. We're going to select the bat cave in this playthrough because we're going the community centre route, so the bats might save us the purchase of a fruit tree here and there. So we're watering up the crops yet again, and we're straight back into the mines. We're on floor 96 now. We are going to hit a ferocious boss when we get to floor 99. Now I did have a few cherry bombs, I decided to use them and save the energy, because as we can see my energy was more or less 0. The Sisters of Shadow is the next boss we need to fight. Now this boss is extremely difficult. You've got 3 mini bosses here. They all share a big health pool, but they also at the same time all have their own individual health. Now I didn't notice at the time. One heals, one fires projectiles, and the other will try to lock onto you and hit you with close combat abilities. But the most menacing ability of this whole fight is the fact that you can get the nausea debuff. This means we cannot take any healable foods, and that debuff will continue into all future boss fights. So it becomes very important that we understand the fights going forward and we try to dodge as many of their attacks as possible. These fights end up turning into huge marathons where we have to focus a lot. We need to come in here with buffs. We just got wiped out there, and you're going to see that happen a lot. I lost 1,000 gold. I also lost my obsidian edge, which is a right old pain. But look, I still had the bone sword, so it wasn't the end of the world. It was time to use some prize tickets. Picked up an orange sapling today. We're also going to get those 15 mixed flower seeds as well. We'll plant those too to see what we can get. For the rest of the day, we're just cutting down trees, using up that energy. And we got a level up there in foraging, which was nice. A few more level ups now, and we'll be well on the way to getting mastery. Level 7 mining and level 3 foraging. So we got some skill ups today. Not too shabby. That boss though, the Sisters of Shadow, it is a very, very hard obstacle to overcome. Will we overcome it? We're going to find out soon. As we can see, I'm selling gold bars, refined quartz, amethyst, jades, even the diamonds for now because I need money. I'm going to need to buy much better equipment if I'm going to fight those bosses. The next day we get to forage even more lovely spring forageables. So we're going to pick him up, we're going to pet our cat. His name is Dudley. I did skip the scene by accident. I was going to call the cat after one of my channel members, but I misclicked the button. We're getting Clint to break open a lot more Omnigeos, see if we get anything decent out of it. A lot of that stuff now will go to Gunther. If we can get into the stores, that will give us the option to purchase some goodies off Krobus as well. Now I didn't start on floor 95 today, I started on floor 90 because I want to just farm a couple of these floors before going into the boss fight again. I want to get some more level ups. More importantly, I want to increase my combat skill. I feel like if I can just get some more HP on my character, I might have a better chance. Also, there's a chance I can get some much better weapons out of the crates around these floors. If I can get maybe a tempered broadsword or a steel falcon, that might increase my chances to win the fight too. I don't think the base damage on the bone sword is going to cut it. I need a much stronger weapon. I also need items that can give me speed, and there's multiple ways you can get speed in this game, including purchasing books of power off the book merchant when he visits. We can get speed buffs off him as well, but all that requires money. So what are we doing right now? We're doing quests. We're trying to sell as many things as we can to get more money. I made a ton of field stacks tonight. They're not that bad. I know they only give 20 health, but they're fair good for energy, especially in the early game. Level 6 combat, plus 5 HP. We're going to take it. We're picking up some cauliflowers today, which is nice. I'm going to keep those cauliflowers for food for the boss fight. We're also going to get another help wanted quest. Jody wants to refine quartz. Just keep those easy quests coming. We're going to fix the bridge here to the tide pool area. Every Saturday, all of the forageables will accumulate. We can collect them all from our foraging XP, and we can sell them too for money. We're going to detonate all of the nodes over there. Gonna get loads of minerals back, give Jody the refined quartz, and we are going to get back another prize ticket. It's only 150 gold, but we're doing it for the prize tickets. We're going to complete the construction bundle. So we're almost there with the bridge repair. A charcoal kennel, that might come in handy later if we need coal. We're going to run around the farm. I didn't know that the bottom of this farm had lots of forageables you could pick up. Leeks, daffodils, morels. It was also salmonberry season, so we're picking up all the salmonberries. We also got the pot of gold there as well. We get the leprechaun hat. It is a pretty cool hat to get. You can only get it on the 17th of spring every single year by the waterfall there. We get another skill up, the mushroom logs. They might come in very handy. They can generate lots of mushrooms if we're lucky. Purple mushrooms. We're going to fight the Sisters of Shadow again. Now I'm coming in here with a slightly higher combat skill. I still have my bone sword, but I do have lots of healables. If I get the nausea debuff, I can try my best to avoid the attacks to the best of my abilities. The problem is that some of the attacks slow my character down, so I'm basically at their mercy if I get the slow debuff, because it just makes it way harder to dodge their attacks. Now I got the nausea debuff yet again. I also have the jinx to debuff, so my defense gets lowered dramatically. I mean, it's just a fairly difficult fight. Ideally, we don't want to get hit with any attacks. We need to utilize a hit and run strategy until all these bosses are dead. What we're seeing here now is myself just kind of getting more used to the fight. I'm trying to focus on dodging all the projectiles. The guy there that's suited for close combat, he's trying to close in on me as quickly as possible. So it's just a matter of dodging attacks. I did die eventually, again, because the nausea debuff hit again. If I can just get something to get rid of that nausea debuff, or maybe even reduce it by 50%, I might have a fighting chance. A gold star parsnip for Pam today because it was her birthday. Lots of friendship points there, 3 out of 10 for Pam, thank you very much. Pam can send you some fair nice stuff in the mail, including energy tonics. So we are back in the regular mines today, there's nowhere else we can go. I picked up the dark boots. Now that was a nice upgrade. The dark boots have a plus 4 defense, so extra defense means the less damage I take from attacks. Level 8 mining, we can now make mega bombs, which is pretty nice. The next day we're picking up gold bars. Now I'm going to sell most of these to increase my money even further. I need gold. I need money to purchase better equipment. That is a priority right now. So we are going to unlock the desert. Unfortunately, it's the 19th. We are not going to be able to do the desert festival in year 1. We're going to have to wait until year 2. But I was very close to getting it done, and I didn't even sell a huge amount of crops. Just goes to show how powerful mining can be and combat can be if you constantly sell bars and monster loots. That was another room in the community center done. It was time to check out the traveling cart to see what she had today. Now, she was selling a pomegranate, 700 gold. I'm going to take that because we need that for the community center, and we're not guaranteed to get that with the bats. I also got a cutscene here when I went into the Adventurers Guild. Robin needs 600 pieces of wood, 500 pieces of stone, and 500,000 gold to add a wing onto the Adventurers Guild. Now this is a mod and it just adds some more spice to the Adventurers Guild, and it's a pretty good mod, and we are going to be really delving into the bits and pieces that this mod has to offer in this video. And again, the mod will be in the description of this video. Now the wizard was kind enough to pay the 500,000 gold because the wizard is rich. I just have to get the wood, and that's going to add an extension onto the Adventurers Guild. I might buy the steel falchion. It's a real good weapon, but I need a lot more money to get it. I also might buy the ruby ring because it increases my attack power by 10%. 2 of those ruby rings would mean an attack power increase of 20%. If I grind it out and get level 10 combat, that's a further attack power increase. Now, I totally forgot when I was grinding up the starter floors that the bosses reset, so I just wanted to show how fast I was able to wipe out that boss line with better equipment. I also made a sturdy ring because it cuts debuffs in half, so I'm hoping with that sturdy ring equipped, the nausea debuff will only last 50% of the time instead of 100% of the time. The Junimo has fixed up the bus. I can now go to the desert. Now I can't enter Skull Cavern because I don't have the key, but I can go to the desert trader and I can get triple shot espressos and spicy eels. Getting early buff food like that is very important when it comes to fighting tough bosses. So we want the speed buff that the triple shot espresso and the spicy eel can give. Now we just got Clint to upgrade our pickaxe there to a steel pickaxe. We're also going to get him to break open all of these geodes in the hopes that we're going to get something decent. So I'm going to pay a visit to the desert trader today. I don't have any diamonds or rubies to trade in buff foods for, but I wanted to see how much the ultimate prismatic blade was going to cost. This comes from a mod. 3 prismatic shards and 250,000 gold, but by god, look at the stats on this thing. 120 to 150 damage, speed, defense, crit chance and crit power. This thing is an absolute beast of a weapon, and one of the goals in this video is to acquire that weapon and lay waste to all of the bosses. It might lay waste to the starter and mid-tier bosses, but there's some bosses in this game, I can tell you right now, they're going to be fierce hard to beat. It's going to take everything we have, everything this game can give you to beat some of the fights in this game. It was Shane's birthday today. I gave him a beer just to get some friendship points up. At this moment in time, I wasn't too sure on who I was going to marry in this game. So if I see someone's birthday, if I have a gift I can give him, I'll get it done. I got a fried mushroom off Gus because it gives an attack power buff. So I'm going to try out different buff foods to see if I can beat those deadly sisters. I also got an Autumn's Bounty. It gives a +2 to defense. That might make the difference when it comes to future boss battles as well. I managed to get an ancient seed out of a fishing treasure chest today. So I'm going to plant that down in the farm. Also got some raw as well, so we can sell that. But the ancient seed will turn into an ancient fruit, and we need 5 gold star ancient fruits. It's one of the items needed to unlock the theatre later on. That's if we get that far, of course. Level 3 farming, not bad. Now farming is going quite slow at the moment. That's because we're not relying too much on crops at the moment. We did get a skill up in foraging, which was nice. So look what we can purchase today. The tiger trout for 1,000 gold. I'm going to get that straight away. I can also get the tilapia as well, but we can get that in summer. We can also get the sturgeon in summer. And summer's only around the corner, so I left them alone for now. Even though they're needed for bundles, there was no point wasting money on them because we can just get them next week. It was time to talk to Demetrius. Another quest done. The anchovy population was getting out of hand and we sorted it out. Another prize ticket for us. I also gave Robin the wood she needed to put an extension onto the Adventurers Guild. That's going to happen in a few days, and we're going to get some real interesting quests from that portion of the Adventurers Guild as well. I picked up a dinosaur egg today and an extra Jewels of the Sea. Now, I could actually read that book. It would just give me some fishing experience. I could also keep it, trade it into the book vendor to get back some special items. I just read the book and I got a level up. At the moment, I'm all about getting those skill ups. 2 more prize tickets to hand in. We get some mystery boxes, but more importantly, we get our very first Star Drop Tea, which is basically a universal loved gift that does not have a cooldown. So overpowered. We're going to go to the item recovery to see what Marlon has. Unfortunately, he does not have our obsidian edge, which is a huge shame. I do have 7,000 gold. If I save up a little bit more, I could get the steel falchion. But I was also thinking about maybe getting the ruby ring for 5,000 because the 10% increase in attack power would make all the difference. So I'm going to get the ring and I'm going to swap out the small magnet ring for it. So I went to the community centre today just to kind of fill out some more bundles. With the tiger trout, I was able to finish off one of the river bundles, which was nice. Got some deluxe bait for that. It's not bad. It increases the fishing bite rate and the size of your fishing bar. Speaking of fishing, we're also going to buy the fiberglass rod because I can attach bait to that. Attaching bait to a rod means I can get a lot more fish on a daily basis. That means larger fishing XP we can accumulate and the more healing food we have. Now this was very lucky I got on the beach here, a strange doll, but it's one of the expensive strange dolls. That can actually go up to 3000 gold if you get a certain book of power. We're doing more fishing today, trying to get up our fishing skill. We got level 5 foraging, which was nice. We're going to go with Gatherer, because if we pick up a forageable item twice, we get bonus XP. We can always get Forester later on if we need more wood, but for now, we want to accumulate as much XP as possible. Level 8 fishing, so we're getting there. The deluxe worm bin may come in handy later on. Robin paid us a visit and she said that the new adventurer's wing should be finished by tomorrow. And she also wanted to give me 1000 gold, which was basically thanks for gathering up all that wood. I got my steel pickaxe back off Clint today, thank you very much Clint. It's back down into the mines. We got a level up in combat, very nice, that's level 7 now in combat. That means more HP for us. What we're really hoping for here is a power up, a stronger weapon. So I kept farming these floors in the hopes to break open a barrel to get anything. A steel falchion, a tempered broadsword, anything that's better than the bone sword. I decided to fight the Sisters of Shadow again today. To be honest, at this stage of the game I was getting quite frustrated because I really wanted to do skull cavern runs and spring was almost over and I hadn't set foot in the skull cavern, so I did feel a bit off. So I decided to do the fight today, see if I could win, and of course I got my ass handed to me because I was just too frustrated to focus. But then I realised what's really killing me here is the fact that my character is just too slow. I needed a faster character to win this fight. Damage output is one thing, but I need to be able to dodge all the attacks first before I can even think about counter-attacking. So I woke up today, Maru found me unconscious, it was the usual story. I clenched my fists and I crossed my fingers and I prayed to God I didn't lose anything too important. And I didn't, I just lost a dwarf scroll, some fibre and some snacks. We'll get over it. Now I didn't go home, it was straight back into the mines. I took some food, it was time to motor on. Look at all these gold nodes, they need to be detonated, that's a lot more mining XP for me. If I see enemies as per usual, we are going to wipe them out. I thought to myself at this stage of the game, maybe if I saved up to 100,000 gold, I could get one of the special weapons and wipe those enemies out. But 100,000 gold is a lot of money for someone that hasn't heavily invested in crops. A level up in combat will make a difference though, all that extra HP does absolutely add up. We're going to get Clint to break open more stuff here to see what kind of goodies we can get. There is a chance we can get some pretty good buff food out of these mystery boxes, so they're absolutely worth breaking open. Even the fertilizers and the speed grows will make a difference because it means if we're planting stuff, he can grow faster and we'll get better quality stuff. Now we have the diamond and we have the ruby. We are going to get the spicy eels and the triple shot espressos. We are going to use those for the upcoming boss battles. We're also going to upgrade our axe to a steel axe. That means we can open up more locations in the game, including the secret woods. We can also get our hands on tons of hardwood as well. Look what I got today, can you believe it? A prismatic shard dropped off a shadow brute. I just couldn't believe it. A prismatic shard, and I thought that it would only drop once you obtained the skull key. If you didn't have the skull key, enemies wouldn't drop prismatic shards. So I was absolutely blessed by luck. Now I wanted to go to the desert, but alas I didn't have enough money. I only had 69 gold, so I started to panic. I really wanted to get the prismatic shard. I ran up to the Adventurers Guild as fast as I could. I spoke to Marlin here. I wanted to sell stuff to him, but I got a cutscene. Let's introduce to you a new NPC. His name is Gabriel, and he is going to run the new extension of the Adventurers Guild. We also meet Zinnia, and she is Gabriel's daughter, and she is going to help us. Once introductions were over, it was time to sell some stuff I didn't need to Marlin just to make some money. So I sold him some rings, I sold him some monster parts, and then it was straight back down to get that prismatic sword. The Adventurers Guild wing could wait one more day, I'm sure. I just really wanted this sword. With the addition of the Galaxy Sword, the other Galaxy weapons also got unlocked, so even if I lose this weapon, it's not the end of the world. Not at the moment anyway. Now as we can see, the Galaxy Sword has been reskinned, and that's all because of a mod, and again, the mods are in the description. Straight back down into the mines now with this, a newly acquired weapon. The attack power that this had was just in a league of its own, but we're not going to take any chances. We're taking the Triple Shot Espresso and the Spicy Eel. We now have a super fast character. We also have a super powerful character. Now I wasn't just going to spam attacks on these 3 NPCs. I'm going to dodge as many attacks as I can and attack whenever I get opportunities. So I'm looking at this not as a sprint, but a marathon. I still take damage here and there, but my character is quick. Even if I get the nausea debuff, I'll surely be able to avoid enough attacks before the debuff goes away so I can heal up. Right now at this moment my health got really low, but I didn't have the debuff, so I ate some cauliflowers and I got my health back up again. It was now time to go on the offensive with this weapon. I started wiping some of these guys out. So as we can see, one of the NPCs, the shaman up there at the top, constantly heals the other NPCs when they take damage. But what I didn't realise is that I could destroy them individually, so I just wiped out the close common NPC there. This was a huge surprise to me, and this made the fight a lot easier, because now there was just 2 mini-bosses left to defeat, and all they had was projectile attacks. Like I just went up into the corner, and I gave him a piece of my sword, and that combination of attacks almost killed him. This combination is going to more or less seal the deal now. I didn't get too greedy, because I don't want my head to drop very quickly. So once I dodged a few projectiles, I ran out, dodged, ran back in again, and I unleashed attacks. There was just 1 NPC left and this fight was as good as mine. Now I did have the nausea debuff, there was 1 minute 50 seconds on it. I don't think the sturdy ring has any sort of effect on that debuff, but I could be wrong. Now I did have some health left, so I played it safe. So I dodged, ran in, attacked a few times, ran back out again, looking to dodge the next projectile. I literally just rinsed and repeated this until I could wipe this last NPC off the face of the earth. And there we have it. Mission accomplished, we finally beat the Sisters of Shadow. It was such a hard fight, and I died so many times to this boss, and it felt really good to win. But by God, the amount of preparation I had to do was just crazy. So we now finally get to floor 100, and we can pick up the star drop, but it's not over yet. Oh no. We still need to get the skull key, and there's another boss we have to fight, and if you think that fight was hard, where will you see the next boss? And I won't spoil it for you. You're going to probably see it in a few minutes anyway. So I sold more gold bars today. 4,500 gold, that's not bad. The next day, we're going to progress through the mines, we're picking up more diamonds. We're going to break open all these crates. If I was to get a weapon now out of these crates, I would just curse my luck. We did pick up a relic shirt. I found a golden relic and I've got the shirt to prove it. Well, we don't actually have a golden relic yet. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an artifact. And it's very common when you break open artifact tropes, but you can also hold up out of the ground as well. So we made it down to floor 110, we get the space boots. They're a little bit better than the boots we have. They give us 1 extra immunity, but our defense stat remains the same. So when we make it down to floor 119, we're going to meet our next boss, and it's a serious badass of a boss. But for now, let's just enjoy our new galaxy weapon. Let's wipe out some enemies, blow some ores up, get some skill ups, and enjoy Stardew Valley for what it is. A nice relaxing farming simulator. Now I thought I had to fight 3 enemies again, and then the dwarf soldier comes down, blows them out of the way. We can't understand what this dwarf is saying, because we don't have the Dwarven Translations Guide. But we will get that eventually. Now this boss is very difficult, but once you learn all of this boss's attacks, he becomes much less difficult. But I mean, you're punished every time you get close to this boss. He'll trap you in nodes like this, he'll detonate the nodes, and unless you're really fast with the pickaxe, you're not going to escape. This here is a big charge up attack. He detonates the entire area. The one good thing about this attack is it unearths all the soil, so you get to pick up lots of clay and cave cards. Cave cards do come in fairly handy. Now this dwarf has a lot of HP, but not only that, when the dwarf's health starts to get low, he will take life elixirs and he'll start to heal himself up. So when it comes to beating this boss, it's all about timing your attacks. It's running in, hitting the boss running back out again. It's just basically hit and run tactics. Now, obviously, the first couple of attempts, this boss is going to really, you know, hand it to us. And we die a lot. So we just died there, lost some Embers, Fire Quartz. So I lost 99 gold ores. That was bad. You know, that's a lot of money down the drain. But it could have been worse. We could have lost our Prismatic Sword. So the next day was a rainy day. We are going to stock up on fish today. I'm not going to sell any of these. I'm stocking up on fish. We're going to eat them because some of these fish can give really good health and energy. We got our steel axe off Clint. We're now going to hand in our pickaxe upgraded to a gold. Maybe with the gold I thought I could one-shot the boss's ores. I can get out of those cluster bombs a lot faster. We're also getting Clint to break open more stuff. Now I did sell some things to Willie today just to get my gold up to 10,000. Reason for this, I wanted to get the last backpack upgrade because I kept throwing things away in the mines. So that was basically wasting money. I also visited the Adventures Guild today to see if I can get any new power-ups. I had a chat with Gabriel. Gabriel has a mission. He wants to make Stardew Valley safe. He wants to research monsters. He wants to research the slimes, so he wants me to go out, kill 20 green slimes and report back to him if I've learned anything about them. What I can tell you, Gabriel, from killing thousands of these, no, I haven't heard anything new. Now a new drop gets unlocked. It's called a slime gem. It's a mysterious green gem. Don't know too much about it at the moment, but we'll learn more about it as the game progresses. For now, we just had to wipe out 20 green slimes, and that's what we're going to do. Once the green slimes were defeated, it's time to talk to Gabriel to see what else he had in store for us. So he's going to study the slime gem that I got, and he's going to tell me all about it tomorrow. So we got level 9 fishing today. We're doing pretty well with the fishing. The next morning, Gabriel paid us a visit, and he's been doing some digging, and he found a recipe to create a slime soul. Now we are going to get a quest to try and create a slime soul. We need to combine 10 of these slime gems with some other bits and bobs. Now we also need a life essence. To make that we need a diamond, a starfruit and a purple mushroom. The only thing holding us back there is the starfruit, so we will have to wait until summertime to get one of those. But once we make the slime soul, we can give that to Gabriel and then something amazing is going to happen. I'm not going to spoil it right now, but it's going to add a really cool quest to this game. A cool and cozy quest. So we're doing more fishing today. We got the wood skip. We need that for the fishing collection. Because we have our steel axe, we're going to wipe out all these large tree stumps. We're going to blow away all the ores in our farm, pick up all those beautiful minerals, and we're going to do even more fishing today. It would be nice to get fishing out of the way. Level 10 fishing does mean that we're one step closer to mastery. And the first mastery tier we're going to go with is combat, just so you know. Level 9 mining, we can now make crystallariums. They will come in handy. That's of course if we get the skull caverns in this video, if we can get past those ferociously hard bosses. The back cave has filled up with lots of goodies. We're getting blackberries, salmon berries, spice berries, wild plums, cherries. A lot of those can be used for community centre bundles. I also got back the gold pickaxe, and we're going to get Clint to break open all these geodes. Hopefully we'll get something decent, and hopefully we can get the key to the source sooner rather than later. We're also going to trade in more diamonds and rubies for buff food, triple shot espressos and spicy eels. We need the speed buff to fight those future bosses. It was Emily's birthday, so we give her a nice mineral and it put her up to 3 out of 8 hearts. We're also going to give her the star drop tea, and that's going to put her up to 6 out of 8 hearts. That's right, we are going to try and marry Emily in this playthrough. So we had some new skill ups, we've got a good weapon, we've got some good buff foods as well. We're back down in the regular versions of the mines. Now this floor number 118 was a mushroom floor, and it was a huge mushroom floor. Just look at all these red and purple mushrooms we get to pick up. Once I picked up all the mushrooms, I took on the dwarf again, and I learned a few things about fighting this dwarf. I learned that when the dwarf charges up for a huge attack, it's a good time to get a few attacks in and then you run away very quickly before he does a mass detonation. Also, when he charges his huge AoE attack, you can actually avoid it if you stand in special green parts of the ground. Just like this, some of the ground lights up. Now I took damage there because I wasn't standing directly in the middle of the green zone, and then he ran into me and he finished me off. So that was another death caused by the dwarf. Fortunately, I didn't lose any valuable items. So for the rest of the day we're cutting down trees, we get level 6 foraging, we can make lightning rods. They will come in handy for summer when we get the lightning storms. I also picked up a hazelnut off the travelling cart. That will come in handy for the community centre. I'm going to make a barn, because I'm thinking to myself, what's the best way to sustain myself through all these tough fights? I don't want to spend every second day putting up fish if a boss kills me, so we're going to go with cheese. I also picked up the alleyway buffet. I was able to get that because I had a steel axe and a steel pickaxe, so I was able to make my way up to the golden trash can and get this book of power. It gives you a greater chance of getting items from trash cans, and that shouldn't be underestimated. So we're making good progress in the community centre. We just got 35 seeds there. We will be able to finish off that whole bundle once we get into summer and we pick up some forageables lying around the place. So we're farming iron ores today, we're farming dust sprites. We need to think about our monster eradication goals. You can get some first good rings by doing monster eradication goals. The crab shell ring is a game changer. Plus 5 defense, that would definitely make fighting those bosses a lot easier. The burglar ring for getting more monster loot. Got a fiddlehead fern today in the secret woods. We're going to put that to good use with the chef's bundle. We're also going to wipe out all those tree stumps as well. 25 foraging XP per tree stump. We also picked up some summer forageables today. We can now finish off the crafts room by just putting in a sweet pea there and a grape. With the crafts room completed, that will repair the bridge. That means we can access a new dungeon that this game has to offer. In terms of community centre progress, I feel like we're making really good progress with it, and that was another room completed, and I wasn't expecting to complete that room so early when I started this challenge. Again, we just got very lucky with the travelling cart. So I bought lots of star fruit today, reason being it gives really good XP when you harvest it. We're also going to pick up all of the coconuts here as well. We're going to get all of the cactus fruit, and we're going to rummage around to see if there's any artifacts we can pull up from the ground as well. So we now have to sort out our crops. It is the first day of summer after all. We're going to hoe up the ground and we're going to put down all this star fruit. Now we can't make quality sprinklers, we don't have the farming skill, so we're going to have to water up those crops every morning. Thankfully there isn't a huge amount of crops to water, so look, we'll get over it. Eventually we will get that level 6 farming. We will be able to make some good sprinklers. Now detonating the ores here outside the quarry cave is a real good way to get XP. And as we can see there, we just got another level up with mining, which is really nice. Because we have a gold pickaxe, we can break open this huge stone in the quarry cave. We can get access to a new area. And this area has coal nodes that spawn back every single day. It's a great place to go to get coal. We're also going to pick up the golden scythe. We don't use it much, but it does come in handy, especially for the green rain that we'll get later. Now we have to remember to plant our red cabbage seed, and we do just that. We also put down some worm bins as well. Now, what I need here desperately is a dwarf scroll. I want to get the Dwarvish Translations Guide. Reason being, I want to get my hands on the Book of Power that reduces bomb damage by 25%. Level 10 mining finally. Now, we're going to go with Excavator for now. Chance to find geodes doubled. Reason being, I want to get all of the minerals the game has to offer. It's just going to speed up our progress to get down to the stores so we can access more vendors. Now I finally got the last scroll we needed to get the Dwarvish Translations Guide, so we're going to get that guide straight away. We're going to head up here, talk to the dwarf, and we're going to get the Dwarvish Safety Manual. I was hoping at the time that this would reduce the dwarf soldiers' bomb damage by 25%, so it's going to make the fight just a little bit easier for us. If it doesn't, it's okay, it just means that when we're detonating bombs, we'll take less damage from our own bombs. So it was time to fight the dwarf soldier yet again. Now I had a gold pickaxe, but it still took more than one swing to break open those nodes, so I'm just not going to be fast enough to get out of those cluster traps if he does manage to trap me. I did however manage to dodge his big strikes there by stepping directly in the centre of those green safe zones, so I was getting much better at that. I was also getting much better at attacking the dwarf and moving away, so when he done his first jump, and when the first cluster came up, I didn't get trapped. And it was just a matter of attacking him when he charged up and then running away when he was ready to strike with more bombs. As we can see, because we have the Dwarvish Translation Guide, we can kind of understand what he's saying. After a long and arduous battle, we finally beat him. And he dropped gold bars, iron bars and copper bars. Not a whole lot, but I mean look, it's alright. I feel like I should have got something better though, because it was such a fierce hard fight. I mean, I don't show the hours upon hours of practices I had with that boss. I kind of show 1 or 2 attempts, then I show the attempt where I actually win. I mean, if I was to show all the attempts, this video would go on for about 12 hours. We do pick up the skull key. We can now do a skull cavern runs, but we're not finished with the bosses yet, oh no. Time to buy some cattle. We're going to get some dairy cows, bring on the cheese. 1500 gold per cow, no problem. The first cow will be called Crane Break and Gemini Dragon and 47 Shotty. We're also going to get a 4th cow, we're going to call it Alarota. And they're all GamerGuard channel members. And you can be a channel member as well for a couple of euro per month. And if you are a channel member, I will encourage your name into many of the videos that I create. So we're now back in the regular mines. What we're doing here is we're trying to farm up some iron ores to make bombs, because I want to do a good, decent skull cavern run. We also donated enough things to Gunther to warrant the key to the swords, the rusty key. So we can now go down there, befriend Krobus, see what kind of wares he has. So the travelling cart was selling a white large egg today. I picked it up straight away. I now don't have to purchase white chicken, which is really good. Went to the desert, put up some fish, got a sandfish there today. Then I went up to the lake to do more fishing here as well. I really wanted to get fishing level 10, but more importantly, I wanted to get a few sturgeons. The first reason I wanted sturgeon was for the big Stardew Valley summer event coming up to get friendship, the luau. The second sturgeon is going to be needed for caviar later on. I also needed a sturgeon as well to donate the fishing bundles here, the lake fishing bundle. So we're almost there with the fish tank. As we can see, we are now doing our first official skull cavern run. Now I am prioritising enemies here, because they do give lots of XP when you kill them. They also drop some pretty good stuff as well. Now on this floor, number 1, it was an ambush floor, the very first floor of the dungeon. And this is nothing compared to what we're going to fight later on in this skull cavern. There's something waiting for us, something extremely hard to kill. Level 9 combat plus 5 HP, and we can make an iridium band. That's something we might make later on. Today we have the green rain. Now today is a great day to accumulate tons of moss, fibre, wood, foraging XP. I do have the golden scythe. We're going to run around with that, whack as many bushes as we can. We got lots of fiddlehead ferns there, which is nice. And with these mossy seeds, we can put them into the ground and they can grow into various different types of mystery trees. If we're really lucky, we can even get a fiddlehead fern tree, tap that for fiddlehead ferns. So I literally spent the whole day today just literally foraging. We do get foraging level 7, we can now make tree fertilizers. And that's going to come in very handy later when all of the trees in Stardew Valley disappear, when it comes to trying to max out the foraging skill. We will upgrade our pickaxe to an iridium pickaxe, and the next day we're going to do some fishing. Tilapias, pufferfish, they're all on our radar for community centre bundles. And that is the speciality fish bundle complete. We get some dish of the seas. That's actually a pretty good dish. The extra plus 3 to fishing there does make a difference. We are going to make some tree farms on our farm, when we are going to use our lovely fertilizers to make those trees grow super fast. Once those trees grow, we won't cut them down though, we'll tap them. We just got a dorado there. It's an incredibly rare fish. Always nice to get that early in summer just to get out of the way. It's very rare. You could be fishing for the whole day by that area. You might never come across one. We also picked up a rainbow trout as well. We got a quest here to gather 15 pieces of coal. No bother at all. Time to wipe out some dust sprites. I mean, we're hitting 2 birds with 1 stone here. Dust sprites are dropping coal. We need coal to make bombs. We need coal to smelt bars. We also need to kill 500 of these things to get a monster eradication goal. So we might as well just try to get this done earlier rather than later anyway. So I went down to the bottom of the farm today. I managed to get a bridal veil off one of the trees. I thought that was honestly just hilarious. How did it end up there? Nobody knows. Maybe Mayor Lewis just chickened out and he wanted Marnie to marry him. Level 10 fishing finally. Let's go with the lore master. Crab pots no longer require bait. If we get trash, we can absolutely put it to use. Lots of trash can be recycled into coal. Our cows have fully matured, so we're going to milk them and we'll turn that milk into cheese eventually. I also got my iridium pickaxe today. That's the best pickaxe now you can get. We're now going to upgrade the axe to a gold axe. I took on the dusk amalgamation today because I didn't realise how much coal it dropped. It dropped 15 coal, which is nice. Now I don't fight the bosses too much once I already kill them. Sometimes I just forget what level I'm on and I stumble into them and I can't escape. So I need to fight them in order to survive. Now you can tweak the mod of course and make the bosses easier and you can make the floors skippable. But what would the fun in that be? Why make something easier if you can manage it eventually? I got a coffee bean today off a dust sprite. That was incredibly lucky, I was very happy with that. I'm going to make some deluxe worm bins today. Plant those down. The reason why I'm making these is because that deluxe worm bait is really good. I'm going to pet my cows and off we go to Robin. It is time to do some upgrades. Now I need to get a silo because if we get rainy days, you know, I don't want to be going to Marnie all the time purchasing hay. Let's have a look at the monster eradication goals. We're getting pretty close to the dust sprites. We've killed quite a number of them. We're almost halfway there with the slimes as well. We've done the bats so we can get the vampire ring. It's not a bad ring. We've also killed over 1,000 monsters so we can get into the back room there. Pick up the mapping cave systems. That is actually extremely valuable to us because we're dying all the time with these boss fights. The mapping cave systems will reduce the cost of Marlin retrieving your items by a whopping 50%. Just got the bait and bobber skill book there. Now we've already maxed out fishing, so we're going to put that aside. We might use it later on for the mastery tiers. We also picked up an extra monster compendium. We could trade that in or we could take it for combat XP. We'll take it for combat XP. It's only a small amount, but look, it's better than nothing. So when these bats come to attack me, I always hang around to kill them. If they drop bombs, you know, that's all you want. Look at all the money I'm getting here from selling these minerals, and this is all thanks to Gus and breaking open these geodes. We're definitely making a profit. I sold the prismatic shard as well for 2,000 gold because I just really needed the money. So today I am getting my hands on iridium bars. Now I don't have the blacksmith perk, so I'm only going to get 1,000 gold for those bars, not 1,500. But I mean, that doesn't really matter. What's more important right now is to get all the minerals the game has to offer. It's now time for the luau, so we put in a gold star storage in there, one of the best things you can put in, and that is going to get us the best friendship effects from that event. And hopefully we'll get some nice things in the mail. I made lots of bombs today. I also had 14 lightning rods. Bring on the battery packs. So we got a gold axe today off Clint, back into the secret woods, breaking open all these stumps. We're level 7 foraging right now. Would be nice to get this maxed out sooner rather than later. I really want to get into the mastery tiers. I want to get those trinkets. Some of those trinkets are just extremely overpowered. We're going around Sinistap Forest that is breaking open trees. The next day, it's a Skull Cavern run yet again. You're going to see lots of Skull Cavern runs in this video. Most of our money will come from Skull Cavern. Now, today was a pretty decent day, you know. I got lots of holes today. We're going to break open lots of barrels. Let's see what we can get. I just picked up a mining monthly there. Now, we have our mining skill already maxed out. But look what I got inside a crate. I got a model ship. It's so rare to get decorations like that. And I'm actually going to hold on to that and put that decoration inside my house. Got another hole here. Let's jump in. We fell down 6 levels. And we get another hole. So I show most of the holes I get today, just to show you that if you're really lucky going into Skull Caverns, how quickly you can descend down the floors. What I didn't know is that there is a ferociously hard boss that waiting for us on floor 99, the Iridium Warrior. Now, it might not look like much, but this boss is insanely hard. And I was nowhere near ready to fight a boss like this. I mean, I thought I could beat this boss because I had a galaxy weapon. By God, was I wrong. Now, this boss just hits so hard. The boss will constantly charge at you. The boss has several AoE attacks that are difficult to avoid, so you really need to be on your toes. You do not want to be touching this boss. The boss has a very mean counter attack where he will launch you up into the air and hit you a few times. When you land, you will take even more damage, and you will also get the nausea debuff, so you can't even heal yourself. So you have to be very careful when you're approaching this boss. So there's the combo. He just hits me up into the air, hits me again, then I fall back onto the ground, and now I have the nausea debuff. He's flinging out iridium ores there like there's no tomorrow. Not only will the ores do damage, but the ground pound attacks will also do damage, so you just really have to keep your distance and use hit and run tactics. So I got killed there, but I was lucky. I just lost some wood and some gold ores. I could have lost a whole lot more than that. But on the bright side, we got plus 430, so I got 10,000 gold off Mr. Key. That was very nice of him. We're also going to get our star fruit, so we got to be optimistic as well when we're going through this game, you know? I mean, if we one-shot at every boss we came across, it would make for a fairly boring challenge. So let's just think about this from a Dark Souls perspective. Sometimes you just got to go back, level up, increase your stats, upgrade your weapons, die maybe 50 or 100 times, and then beat the boss. But this is Stardew Valley, so the game is a little bit more forgiving. So we just made our slime soul there because we got a starfruit. We can now bring that into the Adventurers Guild and see what happens, but first, let's just upgrade the barn to a big barn so we can get more cows. I'm also going to make myself an iridium band, just to give myself some more utility when it comes to going into those dungeons. I'm also going to purchase some melons off Pierre. Now I know it's the 14th, but I really want to make a move on my farming skill. It's very low, it needs to go up to 10. 100 melons hopefully will make a pretty good dent. Now today it was raining, we're going to grab that red snapper, fire it straight into the ocean fish bundle, just a few bundles left. We'll finish off the crab pot bundle as well, because we just got a few more bits and bobs for that. The warp totem to the beach and the crab pots, they'll be put to use eventually. We just need the walleye. Fortunately, we have to wait until fall to get our hands on one of those. We might as well plant our melon seeds and plant anything else that we need to. At the end of the day, we need to make sure we complete all community center bundles, so we need at least 5 gold star melons. Now I made tons of mushroom logs today, and you do get foraging XP every time you harvest one of those mushrooms. Level 5 farming. Now we're going to take till our crops were 10% more. The only reason we're taking this is because the next perk will allow crops to grow 10% faster. And it's all for the sake of farming XP. Level 6 farming. We can make the cheese press, that's very important. We can also make quality sprinklers. So let's make some quality sprinklers right now. We had the bars to get it done. Well, we had the bars to make a good few quality sprinklers, but we'll have to do a bit more grinding to make the rest. So I'm going to give the slime soul to Gabriel here, and let's see what happens. Gabriel is over the moon we managed to get the slime soul. Gabriel has made a special incubator we can put the slime soul into, and it's going to incubate a very special slime. So let's see what happens. Gabriel says it should work any minute, but nothing happens. So his daughter Zinnia comes in and she has iridium, and because she has iridium, the incubator then activates. And what is going to come out of this thing? A brand new NPC is going to grace us. It is a slime indeed, but this slime is friendly. And we can actually forge a relationship with this slime. And it's so interesting. Now we need to give the slime a name. She's going to call the slime Silly. So from now on, everybody, meet Silly the Slime, Stardew Valley's brand new resident. For now, Silly's going to remain here in his room because we don't know what could happen if we just let Silly go outside. Firstly though, nobody understands what Silly says. Silly speaks in the monster language, so we need to rectify that. And hopefully, we'll be able to get something done about that soon. So, Zinnia visits us today, and she just wants to say thanks for siding with her when it comes to building up a relationship with Silly, because we could have sided with Gabriel and the questline would have went a totally different way. But I really wanted to get to know Silly and give Silly the benefit of the doubt. So we're going to visit the wizard, and the wizard is going to give us the ability to understand what Silly says. So we just drink a potion there. We can now talk to Silly, and Silly basically explains to us that slimes and humans used to be friends. But something happened, and there's a reason why we're fighting slimes today. So basically what Silly is saying is that slimes, just like Silly, have real intelligence. And they're intelligent enough to communicate. So we need to build up relationship points with Silly to progress the questline further. So obviously I need to find out what gift Silly loves. We could play it safe, we could go with prismatic shards, golden pumpkins, pearls, things like that. And that's what we do most of the time, you know. So twice a week we're going to be giving Silly items like that. Now we just completed a monster eradication goal. That was for dust sprites, which is great. We can now go back to the Adventurers Guild and get a burglary. We also made over 12,000 gold today, primarily from selling monster parts. But I also sold 40 battery packs. I mean, they sell for 500 gold a pop. That's pretty good. Lightning rods, in all fairness, are a pretty good money maker. I suppose anything in the game, if you have enough of it, can be a good money maker. Even these mushroom logs. Now, I'm going to keep the purple mushrooms and I might just sell the rest of them. If I get a dehydrator, I could always dry some out as well, maybe the common mushrooms. So we're now getting a crystallarium there off of Gunther. We now have all of the minerals donated. So from now on, if we get geodes, especially omni geodes, we're going to trade those in for treasure troves because we can get artifacts out of those. We can also get pearls and golden pumpkins out of those, and they make for great universal love gifts, especially for Silly. So Dara is going to be our new goat. And the reason why I'm getting a goat is because I need one for the community centre bundle. I need a large goat's milk. Speaking of community centre, we're still completing bundles left, right and centre, which is great. We just got a quality sprinkler there as a reward, which was nice. We're going to get Clint to break open all these artifact troves. Let's see what we're going to get. So we just picked up a pearl there. That's going to come in fierce handy. Now we could sell the pearl for some decent money, or we could keep it and just give it to someone because it's a universal love gift. The burglar ring will also come in handy to get more items from monsters. Gabriel now is going to talk to us about a book that he found. And it basically explains that when people first moved to Stardew Valley, they found a cave. They went inside, they found slimes, and they made great friends with the slimes. And the slimes then taught the villagers that they had this special item called a slime heart. And the slime heart can heal any ailment that anybody has, basically cure to cancer. But the humans got greedy. They wanted the slime heart all for themselves, so they went down and they killed the slimes to take the slime heart. And since then, the humans and the slimes have been killing each other. So that's what happened. Human greed tore up the relationship, the lovely relationship that the humans and the slimes had. And that's just the start of the quest chain. I mean, it's a pretty decent quest chain, and we will be getting a lot more information on that as the game progresses. It's a fabulous mod as well. Check it out in the description. So Elizabeth and Super Sergi, there were just more animals there we added to the farm. A pig and a sheep, just for more use in the bundles, especially the truffle. The truffle is needed, and we might not be able to get the truffle off the travelling cart. So we'll just play it safe, pay the money and get the pig. So we are doing another Skull Cavern run today, but I have no intentions of fighting that Iridium warrior. I mean, it's just so hard to fight. But we will come here and we will try to get as many resources as possible. I did pick up some great things today. Look at all this great stuff I have. I picked up a Stardew Valley Almanac. This increases farming skill by 250. That got us up into the next farming level. I got swarmed here by a big load of Iridium bats, and I just killed them all. They drop some nice stuff. They drop Iridium ores. They drop life elixirs that give you full health. Finally, level 10 combat. We're going to take Brute, 15% extra damage. That's going to make a huge difference fighting bosses. Level 7 farming as well, so we're getting there with the farming. We will have to pull up a lot more crops though to max that out. Today we made some decent money, 11,000 gold, primarily from mining again. If you just take a look at all the minerals there. Of course I could have refined the quartz and got more money, but I just wanted to keep the coal for other stuff. So we're getting more iridium bars today. I could keep all the bars until I get the blacksmith perk and then sell them all, but I needed money constantly for upgrades and things like that. A rabbit's foot was up for sale today. I purchased that straight away. That means I won't have to purchase rabbits at all because I can trade it in later on for the lucky charm. I also picked up the rare seed as well. That'll be a handy star drop later on when we bring that to the secret woods. So we're going to get a coop today. Reason being, I need some chikorritos. I also need some ducks as well. The duck feather is something that you need for the dye bundle, I believe. So we need to get a duck as well. So I finished off the artisan bundle by just giving in some honey there. And that was one more bundle done. The cake is a great reward for that. And we will be using the cake because we're going to have to get a silver star wine if we're doing the theatre out later on. I'm at 110 tree fertilizers today. And the reason being is we are going to grow 110 trees. So we're going to site away all the weeds down here. We're going to plant all of these seeds and we're going to fertilize up the whole thing. This will greatly accelerate our foraging skill over the next few days when all these trees fully mature. So we just need to think about maxing out all our skills now sooner rather than later. We're almost in fall, it's about time we start taking a look at those mastery ranks. Went into the bat cave, picked up all these lovely forageables, went to the desert as well, and and we're going to get 8 more artifact troves. We'll get Clint to break them open. More pearls, golden pumpkins, they'll be put to great use. But look what I got. A new book of power, the treasure appraisal guide. This will triple the value of artifacts, and it actually makes artifact gathering quite profitable. And there's a lot of artifacts in this game combined with that book of power that will sell for enormous amounts of money. Speaking of money, it was Saturday. Took a trip down to the beach, went to the tide pools here, picked up all these lovely forageables. Level 9 foraging, thank you very much. We were on a roll with the travelling cart this year. She had a Mackie roll today. I picked it up straight away. I had the funds, why not? I know you can kind of easily make one if you have the seaweed and the fish and to get some rice, but I mean, it was right there for the few hundred goals, so I said, why not? I gave Silly some items there to increase friendship points, and then it was off to the quarry. We're going to wipe out every single one of these resources, because we basically need everything, including the moss, the wood, the coal, the iron, the copper, everything is needed to make progression. I then made some cheese presses, and I made a good few. We will start putting milk into those cheese presses now. We're going to get back some cheese. Cheese is a really good food to bring down into the dungeons, especially when you need health. More iridium bars and gold bars that we can sell. We're going to go to Robin now and upgrade our coop to a big coop. This means I can get ducks. We're also going to finalise the axe here. We're going to get the iridium axe. Now just 3 swings and a tree is fully wiped out. So it just means getting wood will be much faster. Got some diamonds today, sold some prismatic shards, iridium bars and gold bars. Get loads of money, got over 10,000 gold. We've got 12,000 gold at the moment. I picked up a Slayer's helmet today, and this is a reference to Doom, which is a magnificent game. So we now really look the part. We've got the Crucible, and we have the Slayer's helmet. But we're not finished just yet. There's more really cool items we can get as well, and we get those later on. For now, we're back in the regular mines. We're focusing on monster eradication goals. We're also focusing on just getting important resources as well, such as diamonds, rubies, other bits and bobs like that. If I come across void spirits, we're going to wipe them out straight away. If I come across diamonds, gold nodes, we're going to pickaxe them up. I actually got lots of diamonds today. It was a real nice day for diamonds, and I can sell a lot of those diamonds. Monster eradication goal completed for the void spirit. That was nice. The next day we are going to visit Marnie. It's time to purchase some more animals. So we're going to get a duck anyway, because we need the duck feather. We also need the duck egg. That's going to be Natasha B. You're going to be our new duck. We also picked up our iridium axe from Clint. That's the best axe in the game. And all of our trees have also fully grown. So we're going to wipe out all these trees in the hopes to max out our foraging skill. Now we got very lucky here while we were cutting down trees. Woody's secret fell out of one of the trees, and this is a great book of power. Woody's secret will give us an ability to double the amount of wood we get from felling a tree. Now it's only 5%, but when you have big tree farms like this, you'd be very surprised how often that would actually activate. So it's a nice passive ability to get. We just got lots of mushrooms there as well, and it was time to upgrade our house here with Robin. The reason why we need to upgrade the house is that we need to get our hands on those aging barrels so we can get a silver star wine later on. So let's finish off the Enchanter's bundle. We had a rabbit's foot from the travelling cart. So that was another bundle done. 5 gold bars. It's alright, we can sell the gold bars, or we can keep them. So we're wiping out skeletons today. I just want to complete more monster eradication goals. The more goals I can complete, the more power-ups and the more items I can get off the Adventurers Guild. Today all of the melons also fully matured, so we put all of them up. We got our farmers get up by a few levels, which was nice, but it is still not level 10. Now we finally got a large goat milk today, so we're making some good progress. We're now going to visit Pierre. It's the 26th. It's the best time now to purchase tons of wheat. We'll get lots of hay back from that too, so that'll keep our animals going for a long time. We're going to re-hoe the ground, plant all the wheat, get the harvest that in a few days. Level 8 farming, we can now make some kegs. The next day we get to harvest lots of battery packs. Now we can keep those for iridium sprinklers, crystallariums, things like that, or we can just sell them. We then got our watering can upgraded, and we're now going to get Clint to break open all these mystery boxes. The first 2 yielded very rare and nice items. We had a Book of Stars, and we also had the Book of Mysteries, which is a Book of Power. Now the Book of Mysteries will give you an increased chance to find mystery boxes. It's a very nice Book of Power to get. The Book of Stars will give you XP towards all of your skills. It's only really worth activating though if you're going for mastery, but because I was so desperate to max out all of my skills as quickly as possible, I just popped them. I don't know how it is activated, but when I went to bed I got level 1 wizardry plus 1 mana regeneration. Now, I know I downloaded mods in the hopes to make the magic mod work, but the magic mod does not currently work. So I wasn't too sure what that was about. If you look on the left hand side of my screen, you will now see a mana meter. We'll get back to that later on in the video. I did go to Krobus though, and I purchased the star drop, so that is one more star drop in the bag. I also went to the desert trader and I purchased tons of staircases. I finally picked up a truffle today. I actually got 2 truffles because of my foraging skill, so we're going to bring that into the community center. The chef's bundle has now been fully complete. We get back some pink cake, not bad. It was the last day of summer though, so we now get to enjoy the fantastic visuals of the moonlight jellies. It was now the 1st of fall. We picked up our first duck egg. We need that for the animal bundle. All we need now is a duck feather. Help wanted quest from Clint. He's looking for someone to go out and find him 8 gold ores. We'll do that, no problem for you, Clint. We're now going to go to Pierre. It's time to purchase some pumpkins. We'll get 100. That will guarantee us to get at least 5 gold star pumpkins. We also purchased one of every other crop as well, just for the sake of collections and things like that. So we finished off the animal bundle. Very nice indeed. That rewarded us with a cheese press. Very nice, because we're actually using cheese presses in this challenge. I purchased an iridium rod. I also purchased a trap bobber. Now I missed out on a few legendary fish, but there's still a chance we can capture all of the fish in the game if we can acquire magic bait later. I purchased all of the recipes off Gus, including the hash browns. I might not use them, but it's better to have them than to not have them. We're going to go for the legendary fish today, the angler. It's one of the easier legendary fish. So we also got the salmon as well, just for the fishing collection. The next day it was time to harvest all of this lovely wheat, and we actually needed the wheat for the community centre as well, so 2 birds with the 1 stone of course. We're also getting hay, which is also needed. So that gave us a level up in farming, but we had 1 more level to go before we could max out farming, so we're going to have to plant a lot more crops down to get that farming up to level 10. We were very close. We just need foraging now and farming, just 1 more level from each profession, and we can start going for mastery levels then, and we can start seeing the real end game. I got a golden mask in the desert today, and we can also take on community quests now as well. We're going to start with community cleanup. Linus gives us this quest. We just have to pick up some trash or fish it up. We're going to get some fiber seeds as a reward. Penny's birthday, she got the sandfish. Then it was down into the mines, and we are wiping out enemies left, right and centre. Now we got a mushroom floor today. Super lucky, we're picking up all these mushrooms, additional XP for us for foraging. I also spoke to Clint. I told him I got his gold ores for him. Clint was delighted. 330 gold in the bag. And we're going to make a start on doing this community cleanup by fishing up some trash. The next day we are planting some seeds down in the ground. We'll fertilise those as well. And we're going to run around Cindersap Forest, and we're going to wipe out any trees that we see to get our hands on even more foraging XP. We're very close to level 10. So if we see wood, it's going to get axed. I didn't realise you could get a midnight carp on the farm here, so it was nice to get that and add that to the fishing collection, but I wanted trash. So I got an ancient fruit wine. We'll keep that and we'll try to turn that into a silver star wine later on. I also went up to the bathhouse area to get even more trash. I found a book of power here called Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Thick. It gives a +1 to defense, and that's a permanent +1. I also fished up the walleye, and that's needed for the community centre bundle as well. We also visited Travelling Cart, and she has an unlimited supply of Stardew Valley almanacs, and they give 250 farming XP a pop. I can only afford 3 of them though, so I popped all those. That was 750 XP, not bad. So we now got a duck feather. We're going to complete the dye bundle, and that completes the bulletin board. 1 more room done. I also got the walleye, and that is going to complete the fish tank. So we are well on our way now to go to Ginger Island. So these past few days in fall have been real good days. We got real good important skill ups. We completed several bundles, and now we're going to go on and can finally complete the community cleanup quest. So the Junimos there will get rid of that boulder. That will unlock panning for us. Level 10 foraging. We're going to take botanist, of course. Any foraged item we pick up will be of the highest quality. The next day we get the fiber seeds off Linus. And we're back in the regular mines. We're farming up iron ores just so we can make more bombs because we want to do more Skull Cavern runs. We get the flames shirt. We're going to swap that out. I think the cart looks much better now. We have the Slayer's helmet and we have the flames shirt. We're now a force to be reckoned with. We're going to make loads of bombs today. We have tons of coal. We're going to trade in some prize ticks. We got a really cool looking bed there. And we got 4 preserve jars. What I really want though is that Book of Power. The Friendship 101. So we got a quest here to kill a squid kid. And that's what we're going to do. Down into the regular mines. Wipe out the squid kid. We actually just spent the day in the mines. We're going to obviously put that bed out as well. It's way cooler than the first bed you start with. Now we're going to talk to the wizard. Because we've accumulated so much friendship with the wizard, he's going to teach us all about magic. So we created what's called a magic altar. Now it took me a while to get the hang of this, but there's 3 trees with this magic altar. You have attack, offense, and utility. Now the only thing I'm really interested in here is the attack, is the fireball. So I tried to make a projectile attack. And I'm not going to bore you with the options here, but I figured it out after a while, and I called the spell fire. So for the group area, I put in projectile, and then for the add-on, I put in a condition that it does damage. So I can now fire, basically, magic projectiles. I should have called it Rasengan. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. If you do know what it means, well, good for you. Isn't it just a great enemy to watch? So we're now back in the regular mines. I have my mana. I wanted to upgrade it. I needed coffee for velocity, makes the balls go faster. A barbed hook for piercing, makes the balls go through enemies, which makes it even more deadly. I needed slime for the bounce effect, so they'd bounce off stuff until they'd hit something. So these magic balls will become deadly balls of destruction, is the best way I can describe it. They just disintegrate enemies. I mean, look at this. Just rapid firing Rasengans, just wiping enemies out left, right and centre. I mean, these magic balls were so powerful, I thought to myself, I wonder could I take on the Iridium Warrior on floor 100. Those rain totems are going to come in so handy later on. I'm so happy I kept them. So we have mega bombs, we have regular bombs, we're blowing the place open. We're getting lots of Iridium ores. We are getting lots of cool valuable items. So I decided to fight the Iridium Warrior, and look how easy the magic makes to fight. Now at the same time, I knew his big AoE attacks were going to come, so I knew to keep my distance. But I mean, my mana bar wasn't going down at all. I didn't understand why. And I was just spamming these magic balls. Honestly, it did feel a little bit like cheating, but I was just really curious as to what this boss was going to drop when I killed him. So I just kept spamming him with Rasengans, and eventually he died. I got a prismatic shard and 5 iridium bars. And because I have magic, it just trivialized that whole fight. Now I will go back later on and I will fight that boss legitimately. Don't you worry folks. You will see a serious fight later on in this video when I have proper gear. So I got level 5 wizardry. We have mana regen or we have mana efficiency. I just went for the regen. Not that's going to make much of a difference. I completed the help wanted quest for Robin. So we're still doing the help wanted quest. We still want the prize tickets. And it was just a quartz, so it was easy enough quest to do. For the next community quest, we're going to go with Gus's famous omelets. Now, in order for us to get this quest done, because it has 12 days, we'll go and purchase just a couple of chickens, just to get that quest sorted out. And the reason why I took it over crop order is because I really didn't want to grow a ton of cranberry crops on the farm, so I just went with the chickens instead. And you know what, we can just turn those eggs into fried eggs when we're finished with them. We can eat those for health anyway. So those of iridium ores, turn all those into iridium bars, sell them, and there you go. 42,000 gold, primarily from iridium bars and 11 diamonds that we picked up in the Skull Caverns. Now, we're going to trade in more Omni Geodes, we're going to purchase a lot more artifact troves. We'll get Clint to break those open. Let's have a chat with Robin today. We're going to construct a deluxe coop. Reason being, it comes with an auto feed system. I don't want to be feeding the chickens or whatever's inside the coop every time we get a rainy day. I want to be in the dungeons where I belong. So we keep giving Emily gifts here now, and I'm giving her amethyst because she loves those. I'm going to try to get her up to 8 out of 8 hearts and then get her up to 10 and get married. We're giving Silly more loved gifts. Prismatic shards are a good way to go. We're getting lots of those because we're doing Skull Cavern runs. We're growing even more trees today. Look how much money we made today. 17,000 gold from the iridium bars, and we made a ton of gold as well from selling all these artifacts. And a lot of these artifacts are selling for almost 1,000 gold because we have that book of power. We also got a treasure chest from one of the artifact troves. That thing sells for 5,000 gold. The pearl sells for 2,500 gold. It's very nice money indeed to get, just for kind of sticking with the mines. Now, we're going to purchase some books of power today off Marcella. We're going to get Way Up the Wind Part 1. That is a permanent speed increase. We also get the Horse Book of Power, or Slither Legs, and the Price Catalogue. We don't really need a lot of those. I just want them to complete the collections. The Way of the Wind Part 1 though is a game changer. Because I purchased that, I can now get Way of the Wind Part 2. However, I currently cannot afford Way of the Wind Part 2. Now, if I want to make a magic rock candy, I just need 1 prismatic shard and a sugar. So I did that straight away. I made 2 of them actually. And I'm going to use those now for future Skull Cavern runs. I also got a steel pan back off Clint, but I'm going to hand that back in straight away with upgrade to a gold pan. You can get some pretty good stuff from panning, including lucky rings. We're going to purchase chickens today. Mars Meduse, Caroline, you're now chickens. You're going to make loads of eggs for me. I sold a ton of bars to Clint today. Copper bars, iron bars, gold bars, he can have them. We don't really need them at the moment. Let's go to Robin and make a slime hutch. We're making this for one reason only, and that is to give the slimes the ability to drop slime balls when they die, because some of those slime balls can sell for huge amounts of money. We also fished up the mutant carp as well. That's another legendary fish added to the roster. So today's Sunday. We can trade in jades for staircases. We're going to pop a spicy Ian, and we're also going to pop a triple shot espresso. You're probably wondering why I'm not using my magic rock candies. They're being saved for much tougher fights down the road. We're going to need those buffs. Now, today was a great day. We got down pretty far. And the great thing about Skull Cavern is that if we get holes, we can actually bypass floor 100. So you're not, unless you spam staircases, you're not going to run into that boss all the time, the Iridium Warrior. Now, all these pumpkins have finally come to fruition. We're going to pull them all up, and there you have it. The final level up. We now have level 10 farming, thank God. We now have all skills maxed out. Once we get the first mastery rank, we can then go and unlock the overpowered trinkets. Also completed the pantry, get back a preserve jar and a bee house. The Junimos are super happy, goodbye. We can now fix up Willie's boat, we can go to Ginger Island, and we can start farming the volcano cave. Now, because the greenhouse is getting repaired, you just see the squirrel there who's going to run down into his little tree house. We can start doing squirrel quests in a couple of days as well. Level 10 farming, we'll just go with agriculture for now. All crops grow 10% faster. So if we have to grow crops down the road, it'll come in handy. Today is the Stardew Valley Fair. We've got quite the assortment of items. Magic rock candy, prismatic shards, animal products. We got first place, of course. We'll gamble it on green. Use the start tokens to purchase a star drop. We'll also purchase one of the rare crows, and we'll purchase a prize ticket as well. The pepper poppers were pretty good, you know, +1 speed, +2 to farming. Very handy if you want to increase your odds of getting gold star crops, but we don't really need it right now. We will go to Robin and get another house upgrade, because we really need to unlock that cellar. And here is a fabulous cutscene of the community centre, back up and running. We have fabulous balloons, we've got Jas with her lovely rope. Marnie is over the moon, and Mayor Lewis can't believe what is going on. Pierre has had enough of Morris, and he now wants to have a fist fight. Let's see who's going to win here. Victory, Pierre. And we get a nice little gesture here, you know, where Pierre turns around, puts on the glasses. I mean, you can't, you know, so much respect for Pierre there, you know. Morris and his cronies were never heard of again. We're going to go with a curious substance here from Rasmodius. So once you accumulate more friendship points with him, maybe he can teach me some other cool magic abilities. We're also going to purchase an auto grabber off Marnie. I do not have to milk the cows anymore, which is going to be a game changer for me. You've also noticed that I'm using a different spell. So I've got two spells. One gives me a speed increase for 30 seconds. The other fires out magic balls, which I call Rasengans. I also used a huge amount of skill books that I've been saving up, because I can now get mastery skills. And if we take a look at my mastery, I've got a long way to go. I need to get that to 10,000 to get the first skill. I also realised if you press on the Junimo a few times, because I've completed the community centre, I get a cool screen down there. It gets slightly modified. The door to the old Georgia market gets blown open. We can now tackle the final bundle, but we have a long way to go. If we're going to fix up the theatre, we need a lot of endgame items, and upgrading the house is a step in the right direction for that. We're also collecting artifacts. We're almost there with the artifacts, but we're missing just a small handful. But the handful we're missing, they're just not popping up for us. So it's all down to the gods of RNG. Now I managed to beat a ghost in the mines, got an ectoplasm. I'm going to give it to the wizard here. He's super happy. He's going to give us a reward. He also gets a solar essence as well to get more friendship points. Prismatic shard, caviar, dinosaur mayonnaise, void salmon, ancient fruit, and a silver star wine. Now we have the prismatic shard. The caviar will be... all that's going to be easy except for the silver star wine, because that's going to take a while for it to mature. So we're fighting against time now at the moment, because we're on the 18th of fall. It's a 1 year challenge. I got the slime jack today. I also picked up the void talisman as well, just so we can motor ahead with the other quests. There was a strange windstorm during the night, so that is going to start the quest for the squirrel, which is great. We're also going to go in here as well, and we're going to fish up a void salmon. We need a gold star one though for the final bundle, and we were lucky enough to get that. So that's one less item needed. Another help wanted quest for Robin. She wanted a cranberry, we wanted a prize ticket. It was a good deal, and Robin is the happier for it. Now we need to get friendship points up with Robin, so she'll give us the drum block and the flute block. We need those for golden walnuts over on Ginger Island. It's now time to get the Friendship 101 Book of Power, and it just means we get a few extra friendship points when we're doing good deeds for the NPCs around Stardew Valley. As we can see, our collection of books is growing. We now almost have all of the Books of Power. It was time to fix up the broken tree stump. 100 pieces of hardwood is a small price to pay for what's to come. The raccoon is going to be indebted to us, but first, when the raccoon moves in, we will have to get him a huge assortment of different items, including smoked goods, fish, things like that. But it's well worth it. You get some really good prizes. So we now got our void mayonnaise. Now you could fish one up inside the witch's swamp, but it's now incredibly rare to get. It used to be super common. It's been nerfed to the ground. So we're picking up lots of stuff today from the crab pots. Reason being, the squirrel here requires a snail, also requires a smoked chub. Now, the smoked chub will be easy, but the 5 snails may take a few days. We do have some crab pots there, so we might put down just a few more to speed up that process. We're going to give the henchman here a void mayonnaise, go into the house, we're going to pick up the magical ink, give that to the wizard. It just means we can access his magical terminal. So if we get far enough into the future with this challenge, we might be able to get some obelisks, and we might be able to get the gold clock. We also finished off Gus's famous omelette quest. Got some decent money for that, more friendship points with Gus. So we're going to get Robin to build a fish pond, and the only reason that we're building that is to get a caviar, because I have a sturgeon in a chest ready to go for that. As you can see, my character is now much faster because of the buffs that I'm using. I've got a magic buff that increases my speed. I also have Way of the Wind Power 1. So we're a much faster character, and this is going to come in fair handy when fighting the bosses. Sandy wanted an iron bar. I obliged, of course. Friendship points with Sandy, but more importantly, one step closer to another prize ticket. So we're going to get the fish smoker off Willy. It's 10,000 gold, but it has to be done. We're now going to go back into the Skull Cavern, and we have our lovely magic balls, and we are just disintegrating enemies with these. The serpents, the purple slimes, it doesn't matter what it is, it simply doesn't stand a chance against our superior magic powers. I got a dinosaur floor here. It was also an infested floor, and these dinosaurs just get disintegrated. I got some dinosaur eggs, prehistoric vertebrates, got some bones. Oh, I picked up a crystallarium inside a chest. That's going to come in fair handy. We took on the Iridium Warrior again with our new and improved magic Rasengans. and we just disintegrated it. Got some iridium sprinklers in a chest as well today, which was great, and we're getting tons of iridium nodes. Now we made it down really far today. We came across multiple floors with dinosaurs, which is really good, because if we want to get all of the monster eradication goals done, we need to prioritize the dinosaurs. They can be quite rare to find. We passed out on floor 203, but because I got a hole down to this level, I didn't get the 2 treasure chests, which was unfortunate. Not to worry though, we have got tons of iridium to smelt into bars to make tons of money. We just completed the first raccoon quest. We got 25 powder melon seeds back. The reason why we didn't get broccoli is because it's very close to winter, so the raccoon is smart enough to understand how far we're in with the season to give us an appropriate reward. We picked up another community quest as well, and we're going to get Clint to break open all these artifact troves in the hopes to get something that we haven't given into Gunther yet. Everything else can just be sold. So we're going to fix up the boat. We have finally assembled 200 pieces of hardwood. We already done the battery packs and the iridium bars. That means we can go to Ginger Island the next day. We're also giving Silly 2 gifts every single week. We're just giving him prismatic shards and other bits and bobs to get the friendship skills up. His quest still hasn't progressed, so we need to get his friendship up higher. We've also unlocked our first mastery level. What are we going to get? Well, you guessed it, and I have been saying it all along. We are going to get the combat mastery. The anvil can reforge trinkets. The mini forge is basically a dwarven forge, but you can have it anywhere you want. And more importantly, the ability to now amass trinkets. There's many trinkets in this game, and they're all really good. So we got level 5 mining. We're just respeccing. We're now going to get 1+ ore per vein, and we're going to get blacksmith metal bars worth 50% more, so we can make even more money. So we're now going to take the boat down to Ginger Island. Because it's the first day on the island, I would like to accumulate enough gold walnuts so I can fix up the house and sleep here, so I don't start back over on Stardew Valley. Now, I've done this so many times. I know exactly where all of the golden walnuts are. I know where to go. So I'm going to home up out of the ground. We'll shoot them down with master slingshots. We'll fish them up. There's a total of 5 golden walnuts you get from fishing. If you talk to the new bird here, the cost will scale with how many golden walnuts are left to find. So if you're very close to 100 and you have lots of money, you can always just use that to get the last few if you just want to start doing the keys quests sooner rather than later. Now, we don't do that in this challenge. We just get the 100 naturally. The hardest ones to get, in my opinion, are the ones right here. They're quite rare to get inside those muscle nodes. But we're very close now to getting the 20 we need to fix up the house. And there's tons of them around the beach area here. Just need to know where to put the hole down. There's also a few hiding behind trees or on bushes like this. But there's also some very sneaky ones, like the one up here, just behind Key's secret walnut room. And that's a very sneaky one. There's also one you get from killing all the enemies. Now you have to kill them all for that one to unlock. And then there's 2 more you can get here as well. One's on a bush, one you can hoe up out of the ground. There's also one down here, but you need a weapon or a scythe, and you also need a pickaxe to get rid of all the debris. And there's a few hidden ones around here as well. We can hold this one up. And if you have the glow ring, or any sort of ring that makes you glow, this one's pretty easy to get. So once we fix up the house, there's a little bit of time left in the day. So we might do just a spot of fishing, just to get some fish. The lionfish is a new fish, so it's nice to get that added to our collection. We're also going to go into the volcano the next day, and we're going to make some serious progress in here now. The magma cap is an absolutely magnificent forageable to get HP and energy back, and because we have the botanist perk, we're going to get iridium quality magma caps. And we're going to keep those and use those because it's just a great food all around. We need to kill a ton of magma sprites, magma sparkers, if we want to complete all of the monster eradication goals. Our first trinket is the fairy box. Now, it's only a level 2 fairy box, so it's not going to heal us for huge amounts of HP, but it's nice just to have it because those 3s, those 4s, they add up when you're in the heat of combat. So we're just getting more golden walnuts today. Inside these chests, we're getting some real nice prizes. We picked up the mermaid boots. That's an upgrade. That's more defense, more immunity for us. It's only 1 extra defense, but you know what? We will take all of the defense this game can muster. We reached the summit, so we're going to get a free prismatic shard. And we have accumulated enough minerals, enough cinder shards, to get some upgrades done. So let's combine our iridium band with our lucky ring. That's going to free up a ring slot for us. For now, we'll use the protection ring. It just makes us immune a little bit longer when we take damage. That'll come in handy against bosses, but that'll be swapped out eventually. So we just freed Professor Snail here from his imprisonment. He is going to unlock some really cool archaeology quests for us. Once we complete all these quests, we're going to get a ton of golden walnuts. And his quest is now easier than ever to complete thanks to the 1.6 update. Snake vertebrae are now extremely common. They're not the nightmare item they used to be. They're just so common now if you just mine open rocks and pop out of it like there's no tomorrow. Because we access the new area here, there's more golden walnuts we can collect. Now, there's a good few mini games around the island we can play, but first let's try to focus down these artifacts. So I just fished up there a fossilized spine. We got the mummified frog from whacking open the weeds here in this area. We also put up a few letters that the previous inhabitants left, and that led to another nice golden walnut for us and a pearl. We got level 10 wizardry. We'll just get the mana reserve. Despite the fact that mana doesn't move when we use our spells, it's not going to make much of a difference except that the left hand side of our screen now has a giant mana bar. So we now got the fossilized tail, which is great, and we just got the snake head there too. We're also giving Silly more prismatic shards. He's now on 5 out of 10 hearts, which is nice. So we're getting there with the Silly NPC. So we're going to give Emily a bouquet today because we want her to know that we want to take things up a notch. We want to get married. We want to have some babies. We got her up to 9 hearts out of 10. There's one more heart to go and we can get married. We're also going to give Robin 100,000 gold to upgrade the house one final time, which will put a cellar inside it. Now we can upgrade our wine to Silver Star wine. If we're lucky, we might be able to get some fairy dust and make that process happen immediately. So we are back down in the regular version of the mines today. And you're probably wondering what we're doing down here. Well, we're hunting Duggies. We're trying to get the monster eradication goal for Duggies completed, and farming floor 15 over and over again, in my opinion, is the best way to get it done. There's other floors too where lots of Duggies might spawn, but floor 15 you can just leave, come back in straight away, farm it over and over again. So once the monster eradication goal was done, it was time to go to the nice Halloween event. We'll get the jack-o'-lantern recipe and we'll get the rare crow. We'll then go through the maze and pick up the golden pumpkin. What's amazing is if you do this in year 2, the maze dramatically changes. We're also going to bring our sweet gemberry into the secret woods, hand it over to the statue there, and we get another star drop. Now, the travelling cart had a caviar. We picked it up. That means I didn't have to bother with the fish pond that I got Robin to make. All I need now is a Silver Star wine and we can unlock the theatre. Now, I had some cinder shards, so we're going to increase the damage of our Rasengans, and there's one more perk that we can get called Explosion. That means our Rasengans will explode on impact, so now they're going to become stupidly powerful. I mean, just take a look for yourselves. It's just crazy. Monster eradication go done for skeletons. So we're now in winter. This is the final month of the challenge, the last stretch. Let's make it count. We're going to get another community quest here. Robin's project, 80 pieces of hardwood, no problem at all. We also got Krobus's magnifying glass, and it was his birthday, so we gave him a gift. Now, despite the fact that we have level 10 farming already, I just wanted to plant some powder melons and make use of the little piece of farming land that we have here on this farm. I tried to do this godforsaken puzzle for the whole day. I know you can take out your phone and record it, but I'm a very stubborn player and I don't like to cheat that much. Despite the fact that I'm using magical exploding Rasengan balls, I still don't like to cheat that much. Now, the raccoon has a quest here. We need powder melons and we need some crystal fruit jelly. Easy enough to get, we just have to wait for the powder melons to mature. We're trying to get Emily up to max hearts. We're almost there, just a few more gifts and we can get married. Now, it doesn't rain in winter, but if we pop a rain totem, the mariner will appear the next day and we can purchase the mermaid pendant off him. I want to accumulate a lot more hardwood to complete Robin's quest. That's another accumulated quest in the bag. 2,000 gold, but more importantly, more friendship points with Robin. So I found that floor 87 here was overrun with monsters, the perfect floor to start accumulating kills with those pesky rock crabs. They're so rare to come across. So I will hit this floor as many times as I have to wipe out those rock crabs. When we killed 4, that was another help wanted quest done. So we're going to get a nice reward for that. We picked up a parrot egg. Now it's only level 1, so I didn't get too excited. This thing was up to level 4, and the higher the level, the higher activation chance you have with the parrot. Basically, when you kill an enemy, there's a chance it'll drop gold. We also just put a wine into the cellar there, and we activated our rain totem so we can purchase the mermaid pendant the next day. So we went to the desert today to pick up some coconuts. We also picked up a berry basket. We are going to make Linus's day. We're going to give him the basket. We are also going to give him an iridium star coconut, and that is going to slingshot him right up to 10 out of 10 hearts. I also gave Zinnia a gift because she was there by the fire and she didn't seem too impressed. So I got some garlic seeds inside the skull cavern. I'm going to plant those down, plant the melons, and plant the wheat. In a couple of days, that's going to be 15 golden walnuts, 5 for each crop that the mystical frog will reward us with. Now, we are going to go into the Pirates Cove area today, get a few more golden walnuts. Then we're going to get Clint to break open some stuff here. Now, we needed that fossilized skull. That's the last artifact we needed to finish Professor Snail's archaeology quest. We picked up the mermaid pendant, give that to Emily, and now we can have a real cool winter wedding in just a couple of days. Me and Emily for the win. We finally reached another mastery tier. What are we going to go with? I suppose it would make sense to select mining since this is kind of a dungeon challenge. So that's going to unlock the statue of the Dwarf King, heavy furnaces, and gem bearing rocks. Now have a chance to drop double the minerals, which is absolutely amazing for us. Bring on the money making techniques. So we just finished all of Professor Snail's archaeology quests. We gathered everything that he needed, and that's a lot more golden walnuts for us. We just picked up one of the most overpowered rings in the game, the Hot Java ring. I suppose all the rings can be overpowered depending on how you use them. We also traded in 10 diamonds to get the Diamond Hunter. That's a real good book of power. It just means that if we break open a regular rock with the pickaxe, there's a chance a diamond will pop out. That will stack with other perks, so you can get multiple diamonds now, especially if you hit open a diamond node. There's a chance you can get 4 diamonds out of it. We just completed another Monster Slayer goal there, and that one was for mummies, which was great. We're now using our magical exploding Rasengans, and we're just wiping out enemies in the Skull Cavern. I mean, it's not even challenging anymore. We're just running around with magic balls and bombs, and we're just detonating the whole place to the ground. We're getting lots of iridium ores. We are getting lots of monster kills as well. We're getting lots of valuable items. And because the balls explode, the mummies don't even stand a chance. So I made heavy furnaces today, and this is going to make short work of all of the iridium nodes that I've encountered. I also brought a maple syrup to the secret woods, because why not? The bear is now going to give us a secret technique that will enhance the price of salmon berries and blackberries by 3 times their worth. I got a prismatic shard out of a mystery box today. I didn't even know you could get prismatic shards out of regular mystery boxes, so there's one for you. I also handed in a rabbit's foot today, and I got back the special charm. This gives me a permanent luck increase. I have been somewhat neglecting my chickens. There's a lot of eggs here to collect, so we're going to pick them all up. And I'm probably just going to sell them because I have all of the community center bundles complete. I had a ton of milk here as well inside the auto grabber, so we're going to convert all of the gold star ones at least into cheese, so we get back gold star cheese. I made 118,000 gold today, primarily from mining. Just look at all the money here we get from the iridium bars. 42,000 gold, just really nice. I made lots of money from farming too, because all of my animals, I mean, I wasn't going to waste time just processing all that, so I just sold it. I didn't really need the money that much anyway. So today was my wedding day, and I kept on my Slayer's helmet just to remind people what I do for this community on a daily basis. Me and Emily are now one. It was Caroline's birthday, and she said to me, "Are you feeling relaxed, I bet?" Not really. I've got a lot of challenges left to do, Caroline, and not very much time to do it. So I've sold a lot of weapons to Marlington. I've got 182,000 gold. I'm saving up for that prismatic blade that I showed you earlier in the video. It's such a godly weapon. We're still building relationship points with Silly by giving him prismatic shards on her bits and bobs. We also participated in the Festival of Ice, and we were victorious. We got some nice rewards there from Lewis, thank you very much. I also got to pull up all of the powder melon seeds today, which was great. I can now dry out some of those, give those to the raccoon, and get another valuable reward. Now, the drying process will take about a day. That's going to be worth it. Now, because I'm using the hot Java ring, I'm getting tons of coffees and triple shot espressos. So all of those extra coffees I'm getting, I can turn those into even more triple shot espressos. We reached another mastery level today, which is great. The amount of XP you get in the Skull Caverns via mining and combat is just insane. Especially when you start blowing open all those Iridium modes. They're giving 50 XP per node. We're wiping out more dinosaurs today, and we're blowing open more nodes. We are simply just unstoppable. There's absolutely nothing in this game that can stop us. Magic is just too overpowered. These magic balls are a bit insane. Now eventually we do lose the magic balls because of issues with mods. But we'll get back to that later. Now the Basilic's Paw I thought was a game changer artifact because it makes you immune to enemy debuffs. So surely if I equip that while fighting the bosses in the future, doesn't matter what kind of attacks they land, surely I won't get any debuffs with that trinket equipped. Now we just completed the Raccoon's quest today. We got the Raccoon Journal. This is another book of power that we get to activate, and weeds have a better chance to yield mixed seeds. It's a very nice book of power indeed. And mixed seeds are still valuable because you can trade those in to the Raccoon's wife. She's actually a shop. She can sell you lots of valuable stuff. So we're going to go with Foraging Mastery today because I want to unlock the golden mystery boxes. There is a chance, I believe, that you can get a fairy dust out of a golden mystery box. We're also going to take Rock Rejuvenation, and that's a quest for our wife, so it just means more friendship points. Once we accumulate enough friendship points, we will get a star drop off Emily. So we got some gold there as well from doing Rock Rejuvenation. We're also going to pull up the Glacier Fish as well. This is another legendary fish added to the roster. We're going to put the Glacier Fish into this fish pond because when I was doing this challenge, I read that a new patch came in and you can now have legendary fish ponds. So I couldn't resist and I had to throw it in there. Now I will be doing a 1 year Fisher challenge soon enough, but that's just a little taste there of a legendary fish pond. You'll be seeing hundreds of those though in the next video. Hundreds of fish ponds. I'm getting some real good rings here. That crab shell ring plus 5 defense, that's a game changer, especially for the harder bosses. That's going to give me a significant edge. If bosses only end up doing 1 or 2 damage to me, I can just soak up the damage and spam attacks. I made lots of money today from mining. 52,500 gold from Iridium bars. I sold lots of diamonds and other bits and bobs as well. Look at all of the other items I sold. Triple shot espressos. The reason why I sold those is because I just have too many, because the hot Java ring is just a glorious ring. 3 prismatic shards and 250,000 gold. We are now going to upgrade our weapon with the prismatic blade. Pride, everybody. We are going to annihilate bosses with this weapon. They will not stand a chance against the powers of the prismatic blade. It's just too strong. I don't even need magic anymore. This blade will just massacre enemies. The reason why we're doing so many Skull Cavern runs right now is because I want to max out my mastery. I want to have full mastery before the first year is out. It would just be really nice to get that completed. It just never gets old. Unleashing hundreds of magical balls, watching all of his enemies just disintegrate and explode is just so entertaining. We also had to think about our monster eradication goals. We still needed monster eradication goals for the serpents, but there was just a few serpents remaining. So I'm hoping to get that monster eradication goal done today. I finally got a star drop off Emily. That was 1 more in the bag, but there's still a few more star drops we can get our hands on. Now, I managed to get a book of stars. I'm going to trade that in to get some fairy dust. That fairy dust is going to save our hides. We're now going to activate a few skill books here as well, just to get some more XP so we can get into the next tier of masteries. We just have 1 mastery level to go, and that will be all of the professions fully maxed out. So I just used the fairy dust there on an ancient fruit wine. Now have a silver star. We can take that out, put that into the missing bundle. And that is going to unlock the theatre. Now the next big question for us is, can we bring Silly, the NPC, to the theatre? If we can, it's going to be great. The final Junimo is saying goodbye. Thanks so much for your help. No bother at all. We got a nice cutscene there of all different coloured stars shattered across the screen. So it's time to get the next mastery. We're going to go with Fishing Mastery. The Advanced Fishing Rod is an absolute beast of a fishing rod. We can now equip 2 tackles to this at the same time. We're going to use the challenge bait as well, and it just means that getting the 8 squid is going to be simple. The reason why we're doing this event is because I wanted to get the Book of Power, the Art of Crabbing. It's absolutely amazing, but I just wanted it for the collection for this challenge. A 25% chance, which is pretty big, that crab pots will yield double the loot inside. That is a significant power boost when it comes to the crab pots. There's just 1 Book of Power left to get, and you can only get that in Year 2, unfortunately, off Marnie. And it makes Marnie redundant, which is absolutely amazing. We made tons of money today. Purple slime egg, 5,000 gold. We saw some iridium sprinklers, slime gems, superstar espressos, iridium bars, emeralds, diamonds, rubies, aquamarines. Just lots of money to go around. We got some glacier fish raw today. 530 gold for a row. Let's put one into a preserve jar and see how much an aged row will get us. Now we don't have the artisan perk, but it'd be interesting to see with artisan how much we would get. I'm also getting golden mystery boxes. It'll be very interesting to see what we can get inside some of those golden mystery boxes. Now we're doing the regular mines today. Reason being, I needed to get a topaz for Robin. I figured if I go to the regular mines I'd get that easy enough. We now have Robin on 8 out of 10 hearts, so we're going to get the recipes now for the drum and the flute box. We just have to activate the cutscene, and the recipe is as good as ours. We're also handing in quests here to the wizard. He gave us a kill quest for ghosts. That was simple to do. That was another reason we had to go to the regular mines. And we're giving him solar essences and void essences as well. Now I purchased 2 cinema tickets, gave one to Silly, and Silly said, yay, let's go. Now I was kind of stuck in terms of what I should get for Silly here. So I went with the rock candy, because it's very similar to a magic rock candy. The good news was Silly loved the theatre, so lots of friendship points there. Silly also loved the rock candy, so that's going to get me even more friendship points. When we came out, Silly said, thanks Gamer Gar. Silly loved the show. So we're now getting very close to kind of getting into the end quests with Silly, and they should happen very soon. We're now going to talk to the frog here. We're going to get 5 golden walnuts for every specific crop that we planted. That was 15 golden walnuts there from the frog. We managed to get 2 more from these muscle nuts as well, which was great. And we finally managed to complete this godforsaken pineapple puzzle. I think the game took mercy on me after a while and just made it a bit easier. That was 5 more golden walnuts there. We went into the Pirate's Cove. We done the dart game. Now you can do this a total of 3 times, but every time you're successful you get less and less darts to throw to get the score down to 0. That was a handy 3 golden walnuts right there for us. I also fixed up the Ginger Island merchant as well, and I went back into the volcano cave to kill some of these magma sprites and magma sparkers. The big question was, will I have enough time to achieve the monster eradication goal for those before the challenge is finished? Now we are going to perk up this prismatic blade. 3 rubies dramatically increases its attack power. Let's give it a prismatic shard in chat to see what it gets. We're hoping for Crusader we get vampiric. That's actually pretty good. That will heal us for the portion of the damage we do against an enemy. We're now going to go to the night market. We picked up the Red Eagle painting there, but we're not finished just yet. We're going to go down here now and pick up the spookfish, the midnight squid. I also managed to pull up an octopus, and I didn't get the octopus during summer, so it was nice to get that, and we also get the blobfish as well. So we're now very close to capturing all of the fish. We're going to get the cave patrol. The quest is simple. We just have to slay 50 of these grubs. Now because we had the hot jabber ring and because we have the parrot, not only were we getting XP for killing these and bug meat, we were getting coffees triple shot espressos, and money. So it's actually one of the most profitable ways you can make money in the game right now. If you come in here with level 4 parrots and wiping out grubs. If we had a monster musk, it would have even been better. 6,000 gold, which is pretty nice. We also got some gold off Sam there for giving him a gold bar. And because we had accumulated so much friendship points with Silly, we got this really cool cutscene of bringing Silly out to the big Stardew Valley Pelican Town Square and talking to everybody to let them know that Silly isn't violent. And we wanted to explain to everyone what happened between slimes and humans, and everybody accepted Silly, which was great. Leah accepted him, she thinks it's just fine. Gus said he's welcome here anytime. Jody thought it was great. Elliot said this place keeps getting interesting day by day. Alex said to Silly that they can play ball anytime they want, and even Haley wanted to give Silly a makeover. Gabriel then said, is that the slime heart? And Silly made a slime heart for everybody to use. Not only that, but Silly will also allow me to purchase slime heart seeds off Pierre. So the slime hearts are really cool food, plus 2 mining, 2 defense, and 2 attack, and it gives a lot of energy and health. And you can grow these any season. So it was a real nice reward to get by getting friendly with Silly. If that is the end of the mod, I'm not too sure, because we're almost finished the first year. But I will look into the mod again, and if you want to see a second year challenge, let me know. There's just still a lot to do. So we finished the mermaid puzzle by putting down the flute blocks. We managed to get into Key's secret walnut room. We have a choice, Key's cuisine or Key's prismatic grange. We're going to get the prismatic grange. 100 of red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple items. Now for the red, that's simple, we'll just make some cherry bombs. We have copper and coal for days. For orange, we'll just use the copper ores themselves. For blue, we'll just spam the Georgia machine here and buy Georgia colas. Now look, it's only 75 gold per cola, so it's not going to cost us that much. We got fibre for green, sap for yellow, and we have the bug meat for the purple. That was a nice easy quest to do. We have 35 key gems. We'll use these wisely now. Let's get the key to the town for the first 20. That leaves 15 gems. We're going to get magic bait, 60 in total, because it's 20 for 5 gems each. With the magic bait, we can get fish that we missed. But first, we're going to get the stingray. Then we're going to go to night market. We're going to pick up another painting here because these paintings are really cool. They're also quite rare because you can just get them once per year. So using magic bait, we're going to pick up the crimson fish. Regular bait, we're going to get the lava eel. Magic bait, we're going to get the legend. And that is all the fish collected. We're now getting more friendship points up with Silly. I wanted to see if I get Silly to 10 out of 10, will anything happen. I also have a lot more prize tickets, so I can now get another Star Drop tea. And I'll probably end up giving that to Silly. Emily asked me, should we have a baby? I said yes, and the next day, Willie is going to send me on a Star Drop for capturing all of the fish in the game. Nice one, Willie. And I thought it was a cool coincidence that Emily asks to have kids, and then Willie gives you the Star Drop because he says he doesn't have any kids. It's a bit sad though. So we're now doing lots of regular quests here just to accumulate more friendship points with people, because a lot of the mods I downloaded have little secrets to them, you know? So I thought to myself, if I just accumulate friendship points with everyone, maybe more secret things will happen. I'm going to get Mayor Lewis's shorts here. I'm also going to give Clint an iron bar he's been looking for ages. We'll give Mayor Lewis his shorts. He was looking for those in summer, so it's nice to get those back. The wizard visited my farm because I accumulated more friendship points with him, and basically he's going to turn my whole farm into a Ginger Island farm, so it's going to be a huge giant greenhouse, which is absolutely amazing. So now we get to see spring or summer or fall crops in winter, so it's going to make for an absolutely magnificent aesthetic to the regular farm. So the thing with Ginger Island is that, like, the layout never changes, the weather doesn't really change. But at least with the regular farm, if you're in winter and you have spring crops planted, it's going to look really cool. So we're going to use mega bombs and hoe up the ground. I used my bombs the wrong way. That blew up some of my heavy furnaces. But you know what? We're at the end of the challenge, so I'll just make more later on. The reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted to plant a ton of crops today. Now I just had a regular hoe, so not a whole lot of time to hoe the ground up. Now I'm going to build another fish pond because I want to put more legendary fish into them to see what they look like. I'm going to plant rhubarb. It's a very powerful spring crop, highly profitable, but I want to see if I grow it in winter just to see what it looks like on a winter farm. So once the rhubarb has been planted, we're going to get the legend and we're going to put the legend into this fish pond. As we can see with the glacier fish pond, the water looks a bit different, which is really cool. We're going to take a perk here with the statue of Dwarf King. I'm going to go with +1 ore per vein, so I can get even more ores if I want to do a dungeon run today. I'm going to plant mixed flower seeds on the farm. I want to see, because of the greenhouse effect, will I get flowers from all different seasons. I'm also going to play the crane game a few times to get some decorations. You can get some real nice decorations from the crane game, including these lovely deluxe trees. There's also lots of secret items you can get from the crane game as well. I'm then going to bring Silly back to the cinema. We're going to watch The Miracle of Coastar Ranch again. It was so good the first time, we went back a second time. I got Silly up to 10 out of 10 there. So I was just wondering to myself, will anything else happen? Nothing else did happen, but maybe something will happen in year 2. So I just put the crimson fish into that fish pond. That's 3 legendary fish ponds we have right now, which is really nice. Give Robin some hardwood, just been asking for that for a while. So we now have Robin up on 9 out of 10 hearts, which is pretty good, especially for the first year, I think. We're now going to get Robin to make us a stables. Now, I had a really cool mod picked out for this, but it didn't work, so you're just going to see a regular horse, unfortunately. We're going to go with the Prismatic Jelly quest. If we complete that, we will get the Monster Musk. That's going to make monster eradication goals real simple. I spent the whole day today trying to get the Prismatic Slime. It just wouldn't appear. Off into the next day, it popped up quite early, which was nice. So that was the Prismatic Jelly. We can give that back to the wizard. I'm curious to see if I get the wizard up to 10 hearts, because I have all these mods installed, but anything good happen. He's already given me so much. He's given me magic. He's made my farm a greenhouse. What else can this wizard possibly give? I'm getting loads of money from completing this quest, which is great. So I started guessing the mineral combinations, and eventually I guessed right when I got more golden walnuts from doing that mineral minigame. It was time for a new quest here. Danger in the Deep or Skull Cavern Invasion. I'm going to go with Danger in the Deep because it permanently unlocks the hardened versions of the regular mines. And it would be nice to do that for this challenge, since it's primarily a dungeon challenge. So we're going to go down through the mines here now. We have lots of stuff here. We've got spicy eels, triple set expressos, regular bombs, mega bombs, staircases, and because our weapon is so powerful, it doesn't take a whole lot of swings to wipe out these enemies. And these enemies, because we're doing the quest, they're dropping key gems, which is really nice as well. Now, some of the enemies in these mines are very difficult to destroy, but because of the gear that we have, they won't pose too much of a threat to us. Radioactive ore is a brand new ore that we want to get our hands on. 1 radioactive bar with the blacksmith perk will sell for a whopping 5,000 gold. Now, that's absolutely insane. And we do get our hands on lots of radioactive ore for this challenge. But we can also keep some of the radioactive ore and make some endgame items later on. That all depends if you want to see a year 2 of this challenge though. So we got the Monster Musk. We're going back into the mines today to make more progress. Now, what I've noticed here with the hardened versions of the mines is that the bosses don't appear. They don't spawn. I did get a bit worried and I thought to myself maybe there'd be hardened versions of the bosses, but that's not the case. Today is Christmas. I got Abigail. I gave her the spicy eel because apparently she loves those. Now, I got Caroline for mine. I was hoping for something good and I got something horrendous. Let's just see what we get here now from opening up the present. So I got a purple mushroom. I mean, come on, after all the work I've done for this village this year, I thought I'd get something better, you know? I got a lousy purple mushroom. It's not much, but I hope you like it. In all fairness, Caroline, go stuff yourself. So, I got the Void Witch event tonight. She's going to convert one of my eggs into a Void Egg. I could hatch that into a Void Chicken, but you know what? I just left it. Because we're almost finished the challenge. And the only thing I was concerned with now was getting to the bottom of these mines. Just to get more key gems, just to say that I've beaten the hardened versions of the mines. Now, I did equip the Basilisk Paw. It makes me immune to debuffs, so it didn't matter if I got hit with the crossbow. It didn't slow my character down. The shamans couldn't jinx my character to lower my defense. The bows couldn't darken my screen. It's just a beautiful trinket. When I got down to 120, I got an achievement Danger Deep. I also got some more key gems, and I can now unlock the hardened versions of the mines if I want. I also have loads of artifact troves. We're going to get Clint to break all those open. A few more dolls there that we unlocked, but we're missing a few things. So let's open up the inventory and I'll show you what we're missing. So we're currently missing 3 items. The prehistoric skull, and we're missing the trilobite, and we're missing the palm fossil. Now, the trilobite and the palm fossil, I think are most common at the beach. Now, I've been going to this beach a lot. I bring the horror with me, and I just wasn't lucky enough to hold those up this year. But maybe we can get them next year. Let's talk to the raccoon. We're going to give him a cave carrot, some dried mushrooms. Another quest complete. We get the raccoon hat, which is nice. Now, I still much prefer the Slayer helmet, so I'm not going to swap my hats out. When I went down here, I hold up a prehistoric scapula. I got excited for a few seconds, then I realised it wasn't a prehistoric skull. It was some other body parts that wasn't going to help out. I went to Ginger Island, I detonated all of the nodes over here. There is a chance I could have got some of the artifacts over here, but it just wasn't in the cards today, and today was the 27th. Now, I decided to go to Skull Cavern with my lovely upgraded prismatic blade, and we're going to wipe these enemies out. You've probably noticed by now the mana bar is missing from my screen. That's because the space core mod just wasn't working, and because that mod wasn't working, a lot of the mods I had installed also weren't working. And I didn't want to sit on this video, I didn't want to wait a few more days to finish it, so I just plowed on. The only thing I was missing was the UI Plus Suite, the magic, and I think that was it. So it wasn't too bad. I made it down to 400. We're going to get the lovely iridium snake milk. This will give us a permanent health increase of a whopping 25, which is great. We also got the monster eradication go done for the serpents as well. So we've done really well. Now, we didn't complete all of the monster eradication goals. We still had the magma sparkers and the magma sprites. So we're not going to get all the goals done in year 1. But if we do a year 2 challenge, we will absolutely get those goals done. It is now time, before we finish this challenge, for the boss rush. We are going to fight every single boss today using the best tools we have acquired. We have our prismatic blade, we took a magic rock candy, we took a triple shot espresso. Let's see how many swings for the first boss the game has to offer. Boom, 2 swings, boss dead, copper bars in the bag. Onwards to the infected golem. Let's see how many swings it's going to take to wipe this thing off the face of the earth. It's probably going to take 1 or 2 swings. It took 1 swing, the golem is dead. Now, they are going to get much harder. On to the next boss, the Dusk Amalgamation. Now, this boss was fairly hard the first time we fought it. We did almost die the first time we fought this boss. Let's see how many swings it's going to take to kill this boss now. It actually took a good few swings now in all fairness. But, again, the boss is just trivial in the face of the prismatic blade. On to the slightly harder bosses, the living crystal. Now, we died a few times to this one. That ghost second phase was tough. Did one-shot us a few times. Let's get some revenge. A couple of swings, the crystal gets disintegrated. The ghost pops out. Let's hit the ghost a few times, and the ghost is more or less dead right now. The next boss, I believe, was the ludicrously difficult Shadow Sisters. Now, it took us a while to beat this boss, but before I go into this boss, I just want to show you my other setup. I have the Basilisk Paw, so I'm immune to debuffs. I've got the Crab Shell ring plus 5 defense, and I have a combined ring here of a lucky ring plus 1 luck, and I've got the Iridium Band attack damage plus 10. I've also got the Mermaid Boots plus 5 defense plus 8 immunity. The Prismatic Blade, it can max out at 195 damage. If it crits, it's going to destroy things. Magic Rock Candy for more attack and defense, and of course the Sugar Shot Espresso for speed. It's a pretty good layout, and I'm hoping with all this gear I'll be able to floor the next couple of bosses. In terms of books of power, we have the Jack B. Nimble, Jack B. Thick, plus 1 defense, which is permanent, and we have the 2 books of power that gives us a permanent speed increase as well. So we have Way of the Wind Part 1 and Way of the Wind Part 2. So, I mean, we are kitted out. We've got some pretty good stuff. Can we get better stuff? We can, but I feel like the stuff we have right now is enough to wipe out the following bosses. Now the Sisters of Shadow gave me a very hard time. It was probably one of the toughest bosses to learn, you know, to beat. It must have taken at least a week or two to beat this fight, at least. I died so many times to this boss, and it just feels so good to come back in here with all this gear and show these guys just who the boss is. Now, I wanted to fight the dwarf, but the altar is in the way, so if anybody is watching this video, if you made it this far, if you could please tell the legendary person who made this mod to please move the room that you need to go through to fight the dwarf again, that'd be great. Just move the room somewhere else, maybe just over to the left a bit or over to the right a bit, and that'll fix that. Now onto the serious fight, the Iridium Warrior. Now this fight isn't going to be a cakewalk like the last fights. This fight is going to be hard, extremely hard, and it's going to take everything we have to win. Now this boss opens up with the huge ground slam and the Iridium projectiles, and look, it just tears through our health dramatically. Now I have Ghost Starch cheese I got from the cows, thank you very much. So we're going to take that, heal ourselves up. The boss charges us, fires us up into the air for the combination attack. We now have the nausea debuff. I do attack the boss a good bit here. I drained a good bit of health off the boss. But I have to watch out here, because if I take 1 or 2 more hits, I'd say 1 more hit, I'm going to die. I need to wait 6 more seconds before I can heal, so I have to run away, I need to dodge, I need to focus. Dark Souls mode activated. The boss now uses a new move here. This scared the crap out of me. He fires out a ton of Iridium ores. You can dodge this, but you gotta get in closer to the boss, and I also need to be fast. That attack can hit multiple times. Now I need to be very careful about getting close to the boss again. If he hits me with that charge, he is going to launch me, and I am going to get the nausea debuff. Now, I do have the Basilisk Paw, but even with that trinket equipped, the boss's abilities just override that trinket, and I'm still getting the debuff, which is a pain. If I had to replay this boss, I would probably take out the fairy, because she would heal me occasionally, and I could use the anvil and try to level up the fairy to get maybe level 4 or level 5 fairy, and then I could probably go ahead and spam this boss. If I really struggled, I could probably sacrifice my luck ring, and I could equip another crab shell ring for another +5 defense. So there is a lot more optimization I can do to make this fight easier, but I just wanted to see with my current configuration, could I actually beat this boss? Now this fight goes on for ages, and the reason why I'm showing you the full fight is because I want to show you the struggle. I want to show you the determination that I had to go through in order to actually beat this boss legitimately without using the overpowered explosion or Sengun balls. Now this boss has a lot of health left, and at the moment most of my time is spent dodging his attacks. I also have to be mindful that eventually that timer up there will speed up dramatically. It's at 11:30 at the moment. I don't have an infinite amount of time to wipe this boss out. I need to get a bit aggressive. I have to start attacking this boss, but at the same time I need to watch out, because if I get too greedy with attacks, that boss will charge me, fire me up into the air, I'll get the nausea debuff again, and I'll be helpless then for a couple of seconds. So it's going to be rinse and repeat of avoiding the boss's attacks, running in, striking the boss, running out again, dodging the attacks, rinse and repeat until this boss is dead. Now as we can see, I'm starting to dodge a lot of the attacks, but that dash attack is just wrecking me. Anytime I want to go in and take some health off the boss, I am immediately punished. I am assaulted. I'm thinking to myself now, would this be the best time to launch an attack when he's firing those Iridium ores? What if I got really close to the boss and I moved, attacked? So I do start trying different things here now. The boss now is on half health. I got a nice hit in there. If I can get a crit attack on the boss, it will deal a lot of damage. But most of the time when I attack this boss, I don't do great damage. Sometimes I only hit him for like, you know, maybe 20 or 30 or 40 damage. I don't hit him for, 100 or 200 pieces of damage. So I have a lot of health at the moment. I've got lots of gold star cheese left, and I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thinking to myself, maybe I can win. I'm now quite versed with the boss's tactics. The hit and run strategy should work. I just have to remember to not get greedy with the attacks here. The magic rock candy has a lot of duration left on it, and I still have the buffs of the Silver Shot Espresso, so I can still be quick and I can still be deadly. Now I reckon if you came in here with an iridium needle, and you had that buffed up to the last, and you had all of the crit chance gear on you, you could probably melt this boss in a matter of seconds. Easily. Because that needle crits for insane damage. So it would be worth coming back here with different builds to see just how well you can do against the Iridium Warrior. And I would recommend everyone who watches this video who's made it this far to download the mod and test your combat skills, test your combat builds against this Iridium Warrior, because it's a magnificent fight. And hats off to the person who put the time and effort into making this mod. I have to say, it's probably one of the best mods I've ever experienced. Now, we're whittling down this boss's health. It's 240 at the moment. It's getting a bit late, so we need to hurry up a little bit. So we need to get at this boss, get in, strike him. If we take damage, you know what? We just have to deal with it. We need to get his health down a bit more. I took a lot of damage there, but I'm trying to retaliate now when he's doing his big charge attacks, and maybe I can soak up some of the damage. The only attack I have to watch out for is his dash attack, because if he gets me with that, he will fire me up into the air, and he will apply the nausea effect on me. So I suppose I could get a bit greedy if he's doing his charge attacks, but I still have to be careful. Also, sometimes when I go to strike him, I miss. Now, I do get very greedy here, and I just soak up all that damage and I strike him. I didn't do a whole lot of damage, which was unfortunate, but we're not going to give up. He is almost dead. He hasn't used any new abilities. There is no second phase. I just have to have a bit of patience. Hit, run out, dodge, rinse and repeat, and this fight will be in the bag. Now, I was going to cut this fight down, I was going to make it a lot shorter, but again, I need to show you the full fight. I need to show you how fun it can be to fight something that's very difficult, to remain focused for a long duration of time, and then finally, hopefully, come out victorious. Once I got used to all of the boss's mechanics, the fight turned from a very nervous fight into a very fun fight for me. So we're almost there now. We just have to hit him a few more times. If we can land the crit, happy days. I managed to almost dodge this attack fully, but he keeps landing at least one hit on me with that attack. Very difficult to dodge. This attack has become quite trivial to dodge. All I have to do is remain a good distance and just dodge the iridium ores. Thankfully, his ground pound doesn't exceed that of the screen, so if you do run away far enough, it's not going to hit. Now, I had to land a lot more attacks on this boss. It was at 5 o'clock. I needed to get in some damage. I didn't have the nausea buff, so let's heal and get straight back in there again and apply some damage. If I get the nausea buff, I can then evade some abilities. But now was the critical moment. This is the time where I start to get nervous because I'm very close to victory, and there we have it. We wiped him out. We got the prismatic shard, the iridium bars, and we even picked up his mask, which is called the Iridium Mask. Now, I put it on to see what it looked like. It didn't look half as good as the Slayer helmet, so I'm going to keep the Slayer helmet on. And there you have it, folks. That is 1 year of Stardew Valley as an adventure. Now, I really hoped you liked this video, and if you're still hanging around, if you made it through the 2.5 hours, I have to say fair play to you. I could have made the video shorter, but I really wanted to show all the boss fights. And this is what our farm looks like on the final day. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe to me if you like these kind of channels, and hit the notification bell so when I do release content, you're not going to miss out. 1 year of Stardew Valley, but as a fisher is coming up. It's going to take a few weeks to make, but it is going to be worth it with the legendary fish ponds, the smokers, and everything else in between. Thanks again to everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you have a great week. Bye for now.